in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Yeah, I actually had some this morning.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. These Wednesday shows always get weird. And it's past 2, so you know my rules. Always drinking on this. Was gone yesterday. Was in Atlanta, Georgia for Hard AF Seltzer. Want to give a shout out to our distributor Crown down there. Just got us into some Kroger's in Huntsville, Alabama. Buy it out. Buy out Hard AF Seltzer in Huntsville, Alabama at those Kroger's. Trying to go national with it because it's hard. Today, we got Lucinda from Moink Box on the show just to tell you how tough it is when you have your own company. The world's against you. We're in booze. We're not in farming. Farming's even fucking worse.
Oh, we be brawling.
Yeah.
With throwdown.
You do be brawling. I do the ad reads here, and you guys have heard them every single show since its inception. With this, it's moinkbox.com/drinkingbros. Now, you know you're getting a free year of bacon and all that other stuff, and I'll read the ad. I'll talk about 60% of pork and everything else comes from China. You're the owner of the company.
Yeah.
I'm reading a letter that was fired off by said company who claims that they don't have 60% of the farming industry here and the pork in the United States.
We're going to be real coy today, and I'm going to have some fun with it. You ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is Wikipedia.
Okay.
Okay. Blank is a pork producer and food processing company based in Blank. It operates as a wholly owned subsidiary of the Chinese-owned conglomerate WH Group.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, this letter from the lawyer that went to you, which I will not show to camera here on YouTube today, was addressed to you, your company, and then the Rubin Report, which you were on air discussing your product with them?
I wasn't. They picked that up on there, and then once I believe they quoted me saying a certain statement as far as majority of U.S. pork comes from one company wholly owned by the Chinese. So the reason that...
I guess I'll have to sue Wikipedia as well.
Yeah, we're suing Wikipedia.
Everybody.
Basically,
Suing
what
everybody.
we're saying is we're not saying their name because I believe they would like me to because that's an exception. Accepting the invitation to the argument, which we will do later this year. Because, I mean, clearly I have a leg to stand on, so let's brawl.
Yeah.
You know, I'll bring my guys, you bring your guys, and let's just throw down. But for now, basically what they did is send this intimidation letter that said, like, shut the fuck up. Sit down, stop talking. And so one has to wonder, this particular company, who shall not be named, why is it a multi-billion-dollar company gives two shits about a girl like me from rural America doing $25 million a year? Why would you care?
I don't know. 1, 2, they actually put a time code in here. I've been in a million of these goddamn things. So they actually gave the exact minute and second that the statements were made. And to go back to what you said earlier, so you were not on this show? Was this an ad read by
Must have been, yeah.
Rubin Report?
Yes.
Well, I do this ad read.
Yeah.
Twice a month.
Why didn't you get a letter?
Why didn't I
Did
get a
you get
letter?
your feelings hurt?
To be honest, we don't really check the mail here. And if we get, if we were to get a letter like that, man, that would be the best day of my life.
Best day ever, huh? And why is it that they like
Yeah.
stalked me to the second? And I think they say in there like, you didn't say our name, but we know you were talking about us.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I find odd
What, are we
about
in high
this,
school?
this letter. So it says, and I'll read this part because
Yeah, you
again,
can read
doesn't
it and
see
just admit their
names.
name.
So in these segments that were made on the Rubin Report podcast on December 18th, 2023, and January 2nd, 24, and Jan 29, 24, and Jan 24, 24. So they're going after every ad read here. In those segments, You made certain claims about a company with 60% of the U.S. pork market share, which, given its primacy in the U.S. marketplace, can only refer to our client's company.
Sure, yeah.
Well, if the statement is false, how would you even know that that was said company?
That's like running around and being like, if I went up and I was like, hey, look, there's this guy from Texas, and he's a motherfucker. And you coming to be and going like, I know you were fucking talking about me.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I'm the motherfucker,
I'm
Lucinda.
the motherfucker you were talking about. It's like, wait a second. So you just, like I said no names. But because I said there's a motherfucker controlling the pork industry, has a big conglomerate, you came back and said, I know you were talking about me.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, read the rest, because there's other stuff in there that challenge.
Well, you're on a lot of podcasts, so again, I'm really disappointed that we didn't get one of these. So it says, you stated that said company is owned by the Chinese, which is not true because the company's never been said. It's not in my ad reads. It's not in Ruben's either. And that this company's hogs are fed ractopamine.
Ractopamine.
God, so I've been saying it wrong for a year then.
Yeah, well, like...
It's just say antibiotics. That's easier for someone like you.
Well, just say for the dummies, huh?
Drugs.
Yeah.
For the dummies.
So again, this is Wikipedia. It operates as a wholly owned subsidiary of the Chinese-owned conglomerate WH Group. Now, if you're curious about the distinction between China and maybe some other nearby place that isn't technically China, or at least according to them, Hong Kong, right? It trades in the Hong Kong market. The CEO of this company is Wan Long. That's the name of the parent company. Chinese billionaire businessman, and the CEO of this group and that group and so on and so forth. And he lives in China. So I'm not sure what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
This is the most inaccurate targeting letter of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could look the shit up on Wikipedia that shows you're full of shit, you've made a mistake hiring your attorneys.
They even sent the link to their publicly traded company to where you can go and look it up.
We should send them a link to Lemon Party.
Yeah.
We should, but it does say the group in here that Dan just mentioned, which is an investment company. And it says later on down here in the letter from their lawyer that this company does not add, say that word again?
Ractopamine.
There you go. To the feed of the hogs it raises, and has not for some time.
Oh, sometime.
So that means...
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I haven't been crazy and blown up anybody's phone since, 5 minutes ago.
That was weeks ago, motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker, that was old me. I haven't said a curse word for like some time.
But it goes on to say that when discussing Moink Box, and are likely to mislead consumers seeking pork products, we request that you refrain from communicating these false statements concerning said company in the future. Said company expressly reserves its right to take actions should you refuse to do so. Now, again, going back to the ad reads that I do here, this company's never been named. It just says 60% of the
U.S. pork
U.S.
comes from one
pork
company.
This comes from China. Well, my
One
ad reads
company.
say
Yeah.
Doesn't
Wholly
even say
owned
it.
by the Chinese.
Right.
Yeah.
Wholly owned by the Chinese. If it wasn't true, how would you know that this is the company?
Yeah.
Well, I think we should negotiate.
Yeah.
Like, they want you
To shut the fuck
to
up.
shut the fuck up and not say what I could just read from Wikipedia, right? That's their position. Here's mine.
Okay, what you got, Dan?
Go fuck yourself. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want, and you can suck both of my balls and my dick at the same time.
That's what he said.
Sure.
How about that?
But with that, what's been the delay in the response?
I feel like I'm a pretty good negotiator, and I've made, things can get tense.
I mean, I don't have any of those things that he just told them to suck.
A dick and balls?
Yeah, I do
Well,
not
it's
have them.
2024. We didn't want
We
to
don't know.
assume.
Yeah, we were
going to
ask. We were going to ask Bob to come up here and check.
We don't have to ask. You can take my word for it, or I'll knife you in the process.
Yeah, here's a knife, by the way, if you
My
need one.
thought is,
Pop that mic about an inch from your face.
oh,
There
man,
you
it
go.
always comes in hot at me.
There you
Okay.
go. No,
All
we
right.
fixed it. We fixed it for you. Yeah. You're
What
good.
if I freak
Do
out?
whatever you
start,
want. Well, I wouldn't.
Slice
I wouldn't
it.
OJ it. Yeah. R.I.P.
Okay,
obviously.
don't OJ it.
To who?
By the way, this
Ron
is good,
Goldman
by
or
the way.
OJ?
The knife. Oh, thank you very much. This is
Yeah,
ours. This is ours.
this is
It is
nice.
not Chinese
is
owned.
you.
It's not Chinese owned.
No, it's
No?
owned by 3 assholes,
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
basically.
And,
You know, that's what you should have called it.
and it's all
Seltzer for
American made
assholes.
products. You know.
Yeah.
So
it's
there
nice.
you are.
And
Thank
as
you.
somebody that doesn't really drink, I just started last year, and yeah, I find it nice.
That's
Cheers.
what
And
you
it's
said
8%.
last year. You're full of shit.
I swear to you.
Last year you were here and you said, I just started drinking
I just
last year.
started drinking last year.
Yeah, you just say that every year.
I said, replay the tape. I thought we were fighting.
Oh, I will,
Okay.
and then I'll have our lawyers send you a fucking
send me a
letter with
letter.
a time code on it.
Yeah. About April last year
April last year?
is when I started drinking.
But with this, why is this such a big deal to these companies? Because it feels like they're trying to shut down pretty much all of American farming, and it really does feel like the death of the American farmer is in full progress right now.
Well, one does really wonder. It's a serious question. Comparatively speaking, I'm a nothing burger. So why do you care what I'm doing? Like, why do you even know my name?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like when Eminem validated MGK.
I didn't know who MGK was before.
Nobody
then.
did.
Nope.
He had like fucking 50,000 followers on Instagram. Now he's got like 14 million.
Yeah.
Also, do you need me to cut this out? Nothing Burger is copyrighted by one of these corporations.
Yeah, it's actually CNN.
It's a
It was
meatless burger.
Van
It's a meatless
Jones.
burger, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, Van
aren't
Jones
there?
Is that a thing?
It's Wendy's or Arby's?
None of it.
It's Wendy's or Arby's right now that's running Impossible Meat ads. They're like, we're solving the meat problem with more meat.
Burger King. Burger King, yeah.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
None of it.
I think we should look whatever the next generation of terrorists is, because we had IRA and we kind of went into the Muslim area. I think the next generation of terrorists needs to be targeting Impossible Burgers.
If they're around.
If it still exists.
They won't. The financial.
I was gonna say,
they're not viable. When
have you had them?
Follow the money.
Can you imagine?
Have you had them?
No, but it became this big thing. Everybody wants to know, like, how do you feel about this? Is it going to affect you? Blah, blah, blah. It's in this, it's in that. First of all, just follow the money.
Yeah.
If it doesn't financially make sense, it's not going to make sense.
Well, they sold out, and they were everywhere, and it was a huge fad for a while. I had them at a dinner party, and somebody was like, oh, you got to try these. Let's all try these. And everybody was stoked.
Yeah.
It tasted okay, but there was a lot of shit in there to try to get it to make it taste okay. And I was like,
Right.
man, this doesn't feel safe, what I'm eating right now.
Yeah, it's like dyeing your hair purple. It's fun, it's cool, but it's not like your daily go-to.
But is
right?
is it even
Like,
healthy?
No.
I mean,
It's
I don't know. I'm not the health nut. That's
no,
Stan.
no.
Okay.
Again, I hate to appeal to South Park here, but they already covered this issue.
With what?
So here's how the episode of South Park went. Something happened in the community, and they wanted to bring in I think they did it no blood for oil style. And the guy was like, I'm a goo man. But it was Daniel Day-Lewis's character from that movie in there. And he's trying to get everybody to convert to Impossible Meat. Then it gets into the school cafeteria, and everybody's worried that Cartman's going to freak out. Then he finds out it's fake, and he gets mad. But then he finds out that it's all processed bullshit that's really bad for you. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm on board with this. Right?
Yeah.
That was how it went. But that's pretty much the case.
By
It
the way,
sucks.
that was my thought process at that dinner, where I was just like, oh, well, if you put 140 fucking different shitty ingredients anyways,
Sure, yeah.
what's the difference of me just eating
I mean, soda
Burger
tastes pretty
King
good too, but I wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thought is this on that. That's why, like, with Moink bacon, it's naked bacon, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of bacon you get from the store has additives, has sugar, has this. It's like, dude, if
I
you're
just thought of Peg doing a strip tease or something like that.
naked bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally am very modest, but I do like my bacon
To be a slut, yeah.
Yeah,
Slutty
a
ass bacon.
whorish bacon.
So naked bacon, because if you're gonna eat a Pop-Tart, eat a Pop-Tart. If you're gonna smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigarette. But let's not mix buckets. Can our bacon be bacon? Can our Pop-Tarts be
No.
Pop-Tarts? Can our poor life choices be poor life choices?
I think it's bad. You shouldn't have gone to that thing in the first place, to be honest. The fact that you
you
did
judging
makes, yes, absolutely judging him. So if one of my friends invited me over and they were serving some kind of fake meat, I would leave one and not be their friend anymore.
So
You have a lot of friends
it was
there?
actually a surprise dinner. It was a surprise dinner, so I didn't know that that's what I was getting.
Yeah,
at
but you
there.
had the opportunity to, just like Jesus, flip the fucking table over and leave.
I had the opportunity to eat it too, and I took it. And
Were
I ate
the
it.
conversations different around this dinner party?
Yes, but it was intentional. It was a guest on the show years ago named John Levy who wrote this book where you put a bunch of people together from different backgrounds. You can't tell anybody what you do for a living. You can only go by a first name, and then you have to cook meal together and then different food, and then try it, and everybody can have discussions after that, and you find out who everybody is afterwards.
You ever
It's
put-
great.
I've been to a party.
That
like
I would
that.
go.
Very,
I would-
very fun.
I would go to that, but I would definitely smush fake meat in somebody's face if they tried to hand it to me.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
you know what's funny is nobody told him what it was until afterwards, so you didn't really know.
You can't
Oh,
fucking
you thought they
spot
were
fake
like
meat.
bad
Oh,
cooks?
when I had-
Hey,
no,
can
not that.
Can I do a timeout?
Go ahead.
This is all making me want to eat real meat.
Yeah.
Julie, do you have real meat that
Bring
we
it
can
in.
eat?
Bring
like,
it in.
They're giving me like anxiety that I'm gonna.
Why, Bob? Why the fuck is that picture up? What could possibly precipitate
What is
that?
happening right
That's
there?
a cow with like a prolapsed
No, it's
vagina.
not. It's a
Or
hog.
pig, I mean.
It's a pig's vagina. You said naked pig. I'm just doing what you pay me to do.
Oh, got it.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you see that on a daily basis?
We're on so many FBI
Whoa,
watch lists at this
no, we
point.
just escalated this whole conversation
Sure
to a
did.
different level that I'm not okay with.
Well,
Bob,
look, you
Can
know,
I just get
Know
bacon?
the guests, okay? Know the guests.
No, she's
But with this Impossible burger thing, it was pink, and it did have what appeared to be blood. Like, that was coming out of it. So if you've never had it before and somebody gives it to you, you really don't know. And then afterwards, you're like, oh, this is
yeah, but we're again,
different.
it's 2024. You have to start asking what kind of meat is that, and not just for dinner, right?
Brats.
When you meet a girl,
Is
like,
this
hey, what
brats?
kind of meat is that?
Really? Like this is what that's how we have. Do you have a knife?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, boom, there you go. Yeah, we got knives. Just fucking.
This is Montana Knife
40
Company,
knives.
Oh
up here.
shoot! Let me see.
but it's got fucking tape all
Thank you.
over
This
it.
is excellent, by the way.
Let me just admire it for a second.
Yeah, they're nice knives.
Yeah,
What
it
is
is
this?
nice.
What do I have over here?
USA made.
Yeah, those are made in
What do
Montana.
you got? You got
I've
the steak tips?
Oh, I got the steak tips.
Yeah,
These
the
are
marinades.
fantastic.
They come marinated, right? So here, this is what we're gonna do, Russ. I'm sending some your way,
All right, some
and
sausage.
you're sending steak tips back my way once you load up.
Whenever you hear it's like the Today Show, and it's always the best of all time because you get to eat, drink,
Yeah.
laugh. We just say fucked up shit all day long, but your
we always
meat
have-
really is the best on
Yeah,
the planet
we really
here.
do have like a picnic. So what you're eating right there, speaking of the pork industry, this is a bacon brat.
Mm-hmm.
So the ends of our bacon, we make the bacon, and then the ends, as you trim them off to make them look a little nicer for a package.
Square
you
'em
got
up,
bacon
yeah.
ends. So we take those, grind them up, put them with pork trim, make a real clean brat. This one, I think it's bacon. Is it bacon, Julie, or is it the jalapeno pineapple? Yeah, bacon. Make a couple of different flavors to go through. Bacon is my favorite because it's just very just.
It's bacon.
It's
Yeah,
bacon, yeah.
it's bacon.
You'll never get sick of bacon. So serious
Fantastic.
question here.
Yeah,
What
hit
is
me.
the difference between your company and this company that we just discussed from this
I swear to
this
God.
letter?
Flip the fucking tables, Dan.
No, we need to. But the audience wants to
the
know.
fucking tables.
If they're buying up U.S. farmers and U.S. farmland, I'm assuming the
What's the
farmers
difference?
work for them.
Didn't you just see those very disgusting photos on that thing that he put up there that
Sure
made you
did.
wanted to be a vegetarian?
Yeah, no, not me, but
Okay, but listen,
for him.
like if
But
you
for the
if you
audience.
see what happens behind the scenes,
Wait.
you'll want to be a vegetarian. Don't show
Don't show a Chinese pig farm.
not Chinese. You can just look at the U.S. U.S.
is a
confinement buildings.
This sounds kind of sweet, but it is a tower of pigs.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in China.
Okay. Are they doing that in America?
No, not a tower like that, but it is a confinement building, which is or another cute term they use is stationary pens.
Let me ask you this: what kind of plane would you fly into a pig tower?
I mean, I don't know.
Probably something from Boston to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it. You go full 9/11 on something like
Yeah.
that.
So the major thing is that, look, if you come to my farm, you're not gonna like freak out and not eat meat for a month, right? Because it works in tandem with nature. It's a farm. There's animals running around. There's grass. There's birds. There's like what you think of when you read a book as a child that said what a farm looked like. If you go to like a confinement building, you're gonna get the EBGBs. It's gonna like you feel like you're never gonna be the same person. Your nose isn't clean. Animals were meant to be raised outdoors on pasture. In fact, I always say my business is so simple, it shouldn't have to exist. We raise animals outdoors, where a pig can be a pig. We pay farmers fairly.
So what?
Result, high quality meat. But when you take these other large corporate conglomerates, and yes, 4 companies do control over 80% of the meat industry as a whole, 60% of the pork industry in the United States, one company. There's these big conglomerates, right? Largest privately held company in the United States. Either of you know what it is?
Privately held? You mean not publicly traded?
Correct. Not
No.
publicly traded. Privately held company in the United States. Anybody?
Twitter, actually. No.
BlackRock?
But
Cargill.
before Twitter.
Who is it?
Cargill.
I don't know who that is.
They're a meat company.
Really?
Yeah, so I highly suggest a book called The Meat Racket. But, even in the 1920s, there was a big monopoly with meat companies and just all this bullshit that happens where you start to take something that should be spread amongst lots of family farms across the country and you condense it down. And then you're trying to, make chickens grow on trees. Well, they don't grow on trees, but they want to, pump them out at a certain size in a, factory rather than on a farm.
Yeah, there was a rumor back in the day about KFC that they were making
shit.
headless chickens. Is that true?
They had Cargill and two.
I'm not sure if they had headless chickens, but gosh, nothing would surprise me at this point.
They were faster to mass produce or something like that?
Yeah, no clue.
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually real.
In 2000,
You're looking at Cargill,
yeah,
right?
in 2008, Cargill had 106 billion in revenue.
Billion. Yeah.
In 2008.
They're a meat company.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How you like me now?
In the United States? And who owns
Yeah.
Cargill?
Cargill.
Cargill, it's a family owned, isn't it?
Is it American or is
Yeah, it's
it
in America.
Minneapolis
That's what I'm
company, yeah.
saying. It's the largest privately held company in the United States. I think Johnson & Johnson might have been neck and neck. You'd have to
Maybe
look it up.
at some
At
point.
one point,
But
they
I don't know
were-
who. Johnson and J&J is publicly traded, though.
No?
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure-
at one
yeah.
point before they went public, I don't know.
I
years ago.
forget. So let me ask you this. Is the power in controlling the food source in the United States or is it in the real estate?
Definitely in the food. And secondly, again, follow the money. $600 billion industry. That's 6% of GDP, right? It's like everybody eats. So there's three things that pretty much all of us do. There might be four, but I only know of three, which is we breathe, we eat, and we go to the bathroom. So when you get together with your friends, unless you do yoga, which I do not, you're not saying, hey, let's get together and breathe. You're saying, let's get together and eat.
Yep.
So it's a market of follow the money. But I am what I would consider myself a tender-hearted capitalist. In other words, I think you change the world by making doing the right thing profitable, right?
Adam Smith believed that as well.
works.
The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith in 1776, which is a good year, I'm told.
Yeah. For us.
Was just about this. It was about the way to drag a country out of poverty is through economic freedom, basically,
Yeah.
right? And not centralized economy, not state-run economy. Economic freedom.
Yeah, capitalism can be good. And if you want to change the world, that what you have to do as a company is make your secret sauce doing the right thing. And it's really not so hard, right? So, for instance, the quality of this.
Pass some of that steak this way? What the
send
fuck is
steak
wrong
to-
with you?
What's
It's really
wrong with
fucking
you?
good.
So what the hell you
I was
sweating
in
We're
on
on?
a
judging you.
conversation.
You're in the impossible world.
Not at all.
Okay,
Look,
that's good.
This is the best you can get. The Impossible Burger thing was a one-off.
Yeah, it was a
where
fluke.
It was just like
it was an experience.
probably
all right,
does.
how do you get it to bleed? I had a lot of questions, but whatever. I never had it again.
The moon
So,
Yeah.
every 28 days.
I would also like you to know something. Julie, I'm sorry, I'm going to snitch on you just a little. Julie doesn't really know how to cook, and yet she just made these for us.
Joy.
She has a lot of amazing qualities. She's an amazing human, but cooking is not necessarily one of her strong suits.
This is pretty fucking good.
But
I'm not
she
going to throw
did this
Julie
in an
under the
air
bus.
fryer. She did this in an air fryer behind. That's
Yeah.
how simple it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
she
it
was right back
pre-marinated.
there.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just did it right behind the scenes. Yeah.
She was right back
She's
by
awesome.
the Citizen podcast back
Yeah,
there, and she
she's
made it
making
on the
something
ground.
else special.
The chat's saying that beet juice is used to make the blood.
Makes
In the
sense.
Impossible Burger.
It makes sense. That's what it looks like. I mean,
But
you're
it's
trying
not
to replicate
profitable,
blood.
so who
no,
cares?
it doesn't really matter.
It's a non-event.
Right. So going back to
The
what
main
you,
difference?
Well, what you do for a living, and let's take China for example. So they want to make money off of feeding us because that's what we have to do every single day.
Well, first of all, yeah, I mean, yes, definitely follow the money. I mean, I'm a bit more sinister in the sense that I am fascinated by some of the things that happened during the height of COVID, whatever you call it.
Plandemic.
So, at any rate, when it was no longer economically feasible to do so, they shut down a lot of their processing facilities. I found it interesting how, at my facility, of course, we immediately enacted what we call biosecurity protocols, like you would do on a farm, right? There have been animal flus for quite some time. You had, swine flu, bird flu. I mean, it's fucking Farmageddon. So there are things that you do. You dip your feet in bleach. I never go, the boots I have on right now are just town boots. I don't mix boots at different farms, blah, blah, blah. There's things that you do like common sense. Nonetheless, we did these common sense things. We did all of that. We didn't have it go through our facility, but it was affecting a lot of meat processors, and then they were shutting down their facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in the state of Missouri, they're shutting down a lot of these confinement buildings. Now, my personal opinion of their impact on the community, whether animals should be raised that way, okay. No, I do not agree. Do I believe that my naked bacon is better? Yes. But when California passed a law about how you could only have pork products from certain kinds of hogs, although I agree with that, I also panicked a little because there's only so much supply of animals that are raised outdoors. I mean, only 1% of chickens in the United States are raised outdoors. Moink's proudly part of that 1%.
All of it's in buildings like this.
Yes. So if 99% of the chicken is raised indoors, right? And then all of a sudden there's a law passed that says you can only have chicken that's raised outdoors. Although I agree, that's wonderful. How do you feed people?
Well, you buy 80% of the chicken from Brazil, which is what we do.
Well, yeah, so it's what we're doing now.
So anyway,
80% of chicken. Chicken's worse than pork.
Yeah.
80% comes from, like, not owned by a conglomerate in China, but literally comes from a different country where we don't know what the fuck's going on down there.
So chicken is, but anyway, my point is, yes, money, financial control, but also think about what, in COVID, had it not been for American family farms, you'd have been hungry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You absolutely would have. Because these large companies that say, okay, they're too big to fail, have we forgot 2008? Too big to fail? Come again one more time?
And by the way, I found your company during COVID because I wanted fresh meat to the house. And at the time, our grocery stores in North Carolina, there was a limit on things. And that lasted for a long time. Shit, even when we were in Texas, and we were about a good year in, there was still a limit on, like, chicken wings, for Christ's sakes, where you could only get 2 packets. And it was like, all right, well, what if you have a family of 5, 6?
Yeah.
How are you going to feed them?
Yeah. And so, the family farm really stepped up during that time. And so you do. So do I know? I don't know. I'm not in politics, but I'm just saying logically, if I sit down and think about it and say, other than money, would there be any reason to control a country's food supply? I mean, I could think of a few reasons, if you were sinister, why you would want control over another country's food supply. I mean, didn't we just slap Russia with tariffs and all these things? And, like, as far as where food comes and goes, I think, was it not Poland, but what was one of the countries that really was like, oh shit, we can't do that because then we're hungry?
Probably
was it Latvia?
Belgium or Poland might be one of them. I mean, or any country in Africa. Russia produces 12% of the world's wheat.
Yeah.
Right, which is a pretty
and
decent chunk.
30% comes from Ukraine, doesn't it?
I think combined between Russia and Ukraine is 25 to 28%, depending on the year.
Which is still a lot.
But it's not. That's the thing, though. Because of the war, none of that wheat's getting out anymore.
Okay, so take the gas, for instance, right? You're Europe. Russia controls the gas. Other than making money off of you, could you see any other reason that it might benefit you to have control over Europe's gas if they wanted to, like, body check you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be a reason. Is there a reason that other companies would like to have, other countries might want to have a majority ownership of our food supply? I mean, I'm just a farm girl from Missouri, but I'm thinking there might be more than one reason, right?
For sure, but why does the U.S. government then allow it to happen?
So when this company, who shall not be named, look it up, Dan, we actually voted, I think the U.S. had to pass it to be able to allow them to buy that company when it was bought by the Chinese.
I mean, yeah.
Well, Chinese, I'm not saying.
Depending on who owns it. So
Foreign exchange.
If it's a publicly traded company, the SEC can decide who does and doesn't buy it, make purchases and shit like that. But even for, like, think about attempted mergers of companies like T-Mobile and was it Verizon? Not Verizon. Who was it?
Yeah.
Sprint. Yeah,
It went to the.
It finally went through, but, like, they blocked it for 5 years, I think.
Yeah, it was an antitrust suit, and they just did it in the publishing industry too, to Simon & Schuster and Penguin, and they wouldn't allow it to go through because it would create a monopoly. What I don't get is if 60% of pork and what were you saying? How many percent of chicken?
80% of chicken. Like, we're talking about companies like Tyson. What's the other one? Foster's, yeah.
Yep.
It's like a bulk of their chicken comes from other countries, Mexico, Brazil, so on and so forth, right? It's
Why? But I just, again, I'll go back to the question, why does our U.S. government allow it to happen?
Well, why do we outsource energy production?
I don't know. Why didn't our mamas love us? I mean, mine did. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking this question of, like...
My mom didn't. She's watching. I love you. But
you know what I mean? Like, when people, like, why did this happen? It's like...
I just can't...
I don't know. You're asking a question of, like... I don't know how it's allowed to happen. It just does.
I can't figure it out. And like my frustration, especially in the last few weeks for, you know, we're on daily and everybody's listening to this show. I don't understand why it's not America first. And if those set of values don't align with Americans, American businesses, and American workers, tell these people to fuck off. Who is selling these farms then to China?
So it gets...
by the way, it's not just the U.S. So a bulk...
Argentina.
Not a majority yet, but a lot of French and Italian grape fields now vineyards are getting sold to Chinese conglomerate companies as well.
Yep.
Because the families can't afford the taxes or whatever the fuck. They're not profitable anymore.
Yeah. And so is that what it is?
No, so it's not necessarily that China owns U.S. farmland. I believe actually the largest foreign entity might be Canada. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But what it is, it works like this. It's like a sweatshop, but for farmers. So here you are, you're a multi-generational family farm. On average, the on-farm income in the United States is a loss of $1,100. So you're losing money. This is your family farm, right? Your identity, your culture, all these things. And along comes a company that says, hey, look, you're going to make money. It's all going to be great. Put in a hog confinement building of $2 million. Spend $2 million. We'll help you get the loan. Buy a hog confinement building, put it in. We'll send you the hogs. We'll send you the feed. We'll send you all this. Same with chicken, right? A lot of people in Arkansas and Mississippi have been hit real bad by some of these chicken confinement buildings. And they sell you this blue sky, and they're like, this is what you do. And then all of a sudden, instead of being a farmer, you're a sweatshop worker. Because you're not farming. You're going to check to make sure that the mister comes on because the ammonia smells too strong. And then if you say something, they'll send you sick chicks. And then you got sick chicks and oh shit, I'm sorry, your birds died. You're not getting any money now. And so then they're kind of trapped in like modern day slavery. It's why the agricultural industry is one of the few that's exempt from a lot of labor laws. And who the hell cares, basically? There's only 1.3% of Americans that are farmers. I mean, we're like an endangered species. It's a national pastime to say, oh, you poor farmer. So the issues don't really get raised. There's no way to, like, fight back on that. And now you're in that cycle, and it's like a toxic relationship, right? You're in an abusive financial relationship with a corporate conglomerate in which you are powerless. You will lose your family farm over it. So that's kind of how that works. So they don't necessarily own it. Now, they do have certain confinement buildings that they do own, right, outright. But most of the time, they're even pushing the liability and the investment onto the American family farm. So, like, double fucked, I think is what, like, not even a reach around. This is not good. Like, not good at all. And so, by comparison, like with Moink, we pay 4,000%, let that sink in, 4,000% more than, say, one of those evil chicken companies in Arkansas, right? Okay. And then it's not just the farmers that are directly impacted. Then you have people at processing facilities because they've been what's called vertically integrated, meaning the company now owns the chickens. They just send them to the farm to be in this house that the farmer is taking care of them. They own the kill facility, so where it gets killed, and then they own the retail, right? And everything in between. So it's called vertically integrated. It sounds really good on paper. It sounds like such a great business idea. Oh, just buy your supply chain and do this. Well, you have some scary things that come with that. So, for instance, for me, who, clearly I sell chicken, there's only 17 chicken processors in the United States. Only 2 that would meet my specs. So as I've grown, I've had to grow with them. So I can like get animals raised a certain way. Hogs is a big one. That's probably the timing of that letter is because I was able to successfully circumvent some of their processing facilities. Because even if you can raise animals properly outside on pasture, you have to make them dead.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of weird laws about that,
laws.
even with wild game.
Yeah.
Like if I kill in certain states, if I kill an animal and get it processed, and you want to buy some from me, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like what?
And crossing state lines. Like I once did a Farm Aid concert. Like did the food for Farm Aid in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. The on-farm laws allow you to do so many on a farm. Blah blah blah. My friend raised chickens. In
But it's not
Kansas
that
City,
many.
Missouri.
Yeah.
I crossed to Kansas City, Kansas, and about got my ass hemmed up in some trouble.
Well, they do that with alcohol. They also did it with Matt Gaetz. Whenever you're going state to state, politician, inside joke for the audience there,
Okay.
or outside joke for everyone. But
Okay.
once you're doing transporting state to state like that, it's a no-no for most products. And, you know, for me personally, I just think it's about taxes. I don't think they would necessarily care if they knew where it was coming from and you were paying the proper amount of taxes. But to them, it's just money. And this will go back to what you said about following the money.
Yeah.
Each of them wants taxes and fees along the way just to say you were there, even though they're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's a protection racket, is what we call that.
Yes.
Right.
Who is
it's
they,
it's the
by the way?
mob.
They is essentially the government. I mean, it's
bureaucrats.
And by the way, it's not just federal; it's also local and states.
State, yeah.
Because if God forbid the states don't get their money either, we're going through that with a fucking highway that's being built here by TxDOT, Chinese-owned company that's building the highway here to expand. Texas, the city of Austin in particular, needs this highway expanded because of all the people that have moved here. However, they have to go to federal. So it's federal dollars. So they still have to ask Biden and them for the money to approve this state highway plan that they're going to pay for, but then they're hired to outsource to a Chinese company to then build this highway. So you're not even helping out workers in Texas at this point. But as long as each government is getting their cut of whatever the fuck it is, they don't really give a shit.
And that's why government shouldn't exist.
But you're also down to state as well here. So
I don't give a shit.
Right.
Why would the state government exist?
Right.
What service exactly does the state of Texas provide you?
So me personally, roads,
Okay.
schools, obviously.
But they don't build the roads. Well, schools are county based. That's not the state. The state funnels money into it, but the county is in control of those schools.
But it doesn't matter. It's whoever has the purse string. So the state has that. Feds have the highways.
Well, that's not how it goes though, because Dripping Springs has quite a bit of revenue, right? They generate a lot of revenue because a lot of people that work for a living live there. So they are able to fund their schools, and then the state comes in and steals money from the residents of Dripping Springs to spend it on some assholes, right?
Correct, yeah.
So the state is not providing you with shit. All they're doing is taking your stuff away and giving it to somebody else.
We all know that, but that's the system that we live under, and that's what's happening to everybody. Now, even going
I go to
back,
the library. I think my taxes go to that.
do you really?
Yes, I do.
You're the one who's checking that box in November. It was like, do you want to give $3 million to the local
No,
library?
not at all. But I'm like, I pay taxes. Give me the book, man. I'm reading the book. I'm reading the book. You took my money. Give me the book. And sometimes you get a librarian and she's like growly about stuff, and you're like, hey, don't be growly, man.
This is how I do
Paid
it.
my taxes.
Yeah, same thing with cops' guns, by the way. My tax dollars paid for that gun. It belongs to me.
That's how I feel about
that
the
not
library
right?
book.
It looks like Hayes County is 130-ish million in the hole from last year.
And who's paying that? Like, it just out of curiosity, you know what I'm
So
saying?
I
Like,
never
where does
understood that
Me
either.
neither.
Yeah, I'm not good with this, but total revenue was 219 million and change. And
Are you just able to just like write hot checks? Like we call that $40 pizza, $20 for the
checks. I haven't heard
pizza,
that term
$20 for the
in a
overdraft
long
fee.
time, yeah.
Like they charge them an overdraft
That's
fee.
why we have 40% inflation right now, because of all the hot checks we've been writing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like we should get a woe on that.
But even going back to, so let's say your letter and then everything else that I've talked about,
Yeah.
right? With this lawyer. What they're hoping to accomplish with this is, hey,
That I will shut up.
Yes, and that
Yeah, but did
you're
they
not
look-
going to spend the money to
Did they
do it.
Did they look into you at all before they thought a semi-threatening kind of? I mean, honestly, that's kind of a weak letter from an
Yeah, it's
attorney.
weak. It's absolutely
Did
weak.
they not like watch any of your interviews
I guess
and know
not.
that was not? It was going to have the exact opposite.
Yeah,
effect
that
they
I would be
wanted?
like, oh gosh, I really, I had other shit to do, but okay, I accept the invitation. Where
Well,
we
let's
at?
say said
Let's go.
company decided to file this suit against you for $5 million.
That's not what they'll do.
What do you think they'll do?
They will intimidate my farmers. So
Okay.
they will go to them.
Okay.
Who have been, and so again, if you look at like family farms, depending on the ones, right? But if they have a history maybe with working with other large companies that ended up screwing them over or selling out or something like that, that's going to have an impact on them. To me, I'm going to be like, bring it. Like, whatever. Like, I don't really want to fight with you right now. If you're watching, like, I accept the invitation. Can we wait till September? I'm dealing with a beef issue. But, okay. I mean, if we got to do it right now, come on, let's go.
Right.
But somebody that maybe has history of people screwing them over financially, fucking with their family farms, of course they're going to be like bothered by that. Secondly, one has to wonder, it is an election year, if that had something to do with that. Let's pay attention very closely to Iowa and what moves said pork companies or meat companies make in Iowa to see if that had something to do with it. Clearly, they would rather people didn't know or talk about China's involvement in U.S. meat. Why, I have no idea. Maybe they want to come see me in my town. They want to sit down. Maybe they want to have a drink. I have no idea. That's your idea is as good as mine, because just mathematically speaking, I'm a non-event. I shouldn't be on their radar. The only thing that would put me on their radar is that I'm standing up and saying, hey, look, here's the reality. Here's where you can go get the information. Here's where you can look at it. Here's like, pay attention. And if they're like, how do you tell the difference and why won't she shut up? Okay, let's just go bacon to bacon, steak to steak. Because a motherfucking steak doesn't lie and neither does bacon. So then taste the difference and you'll be able to tell. Like, I'm sure my Moink burger next to the Impossible burger, you'd just be
It's
like,
not even close. Look,
Thank you.
your meat is the very best I've ever had. It is not close. The only thing comparable is to actual farmers that Dan and I are friends with in real life who are literally on their way back from a farm with a chest.
Yeah.
They bring it fresh to our
And you can
house,
taste
and
the
that is
difference,
it.
right?
Yes, it's not even close.
By the way, also from Missouri.
That's right.
I get all my. There's only one kind of meat I get from elsewhere, and it's Australian Wagyu, and it just isn't here, so I had to buy it somewhere else. But yeah, it's not even close. You can't. We're fortunate to be in Texas, to be honest, because almost all the beef that you find in Texas stores, to include our major grocery store, H-E-B, is sourced locally. Pretty much all of it, actually, which is great because Texas doesn't fuck around with beef.
Yeah.
But if you live anywhere but Texas, maybe in Wisconsin you can get lucky with that. Maybe in Missouri you can get lucky with that if you're in southern Missouri, right? But most of the country, they're eating shitty fucking meat.
And unless
Like
unless these conversations are had in public or on podcasts or anything else, Joe Rogan, in my opinion, led this charge. We've picked up on it. Dan's always been on this boat, and I think I said this last time you were here. But I was one of those people who was like, "What's the fucking difference?"
right?
And then you have it, and then you feel better, and then your system feels better, and everything else, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
it tastes
and then when
better.
you go back, all of it. But then when you go back and have something shitty, you really notice the difference. You become almost a meat
Like
snob in a way
yeah.
where you're like, all right, well, where is this from? Because if it's not Moink Box, then I'm not fucking eating it. That's kind of where I'm at in life right now. And the price isn't that much different.
No, it's because you don't have to. You don't have to screw a farmer or a consumer in order to make money, and you just have to be able to run a business in an efficient way, which I do. You know, it's one of the benefits having grown up poor. I know all too well that a $20 pizza with an overdraft charge costs you $40, so don't do that, right? In fact, let me brag for a second because I am proud of this. Moink is a zero debt company, meaning I don't owe anybody anything.
That's
when I
that's
go
next
to
to impossible these days.
Exactly. And we have built a $25 million business off $500,000. We own everything in there. So I owe my soul to nobody. I make my own decisions, right? That's a hard thing for people if they don't have that power. You put them in a spot, and people have to do what they got to do to survive, right? Goes back to, like, what will they do next? Why would that affect a farmer? Well, farmer's in a spot, right?
Is that where the intimidation is coming in from these companies behind the scenes that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, a lot of times they'll even go buy somebody. So, like, they'll come to me, and that has happened, where one of those large companies come and try to buy my company, right? And it's like, and they'll make you an offer where you just like, oh, shoot, I better think about that. Don't think about it. Say no.
Is it that big?
Oh, it's that big. Oh, it's enough that you go, whoa.
And they take in everything, real estate, farmers, equipment, all of it?
They just come in and take your supply chain. So there used to be some independent people kind of doing what I was doing in different states. And then they sold out. And I'm like, well, I'm heartbroken, but I mean, I get it. But I'm in it to win it because it's personal to me. You know, I'm an 8th-generation farmer. I grew up on a family farm. My father took his own life. Farmers are more likely to commit suicide than veterans. It's a personal fight for me. So, no, my soul's not for sale. I'm proving a point. I'm proving a point that you can do the right thing and be profitable and change the world, right? But on the other side, the consumer, you don't know. I always say, like, nobody ever said, today's the day I'm going to go to the grocery store and screw over a farmer. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever said that. Right. And if they did, like, I don't want to know them. And then they're going to buy a funky chicken. Okay. Nobody tried to do that. They accidentally did that, right? And on the other side, no farmer ever said, today I'm going to wake up and see how many chickens I can cram into a tiny box, pump them full of antibiotics. I don't know. I think it's, look it up, Dan. I think it's like the majority of antibiotics in the United States goes to animals. I want to say it's got an 8 in it, so I don't know if it's 8 billion or 80% or how much of the antibiotic use in the United States goes to animals.
I'm sure they're pumping them full of them,
but no
right?
farmer ever said that. 70%. Okay, so no farmer ever said that.
80%.
I'm seeing both 80
right?
and 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting awful twitchy, like my numbers. I got sweat in my armpits. I'm
Give me
making
that
Dan
bottle of
fact
whiskey,
check me.
bro.
That's a study from the NIH, by the way. It's not some fucking wacko
How about you
website.
open it?
I'll open
Can
it,
you do
yeah.
that for me? Jules, do we have the next round of sweets coming? Okay, almost. She's going to check them. We started a bakery.
Did you really?
Yeah, I started a whole line called the Rural Table. And it's got some baked goods, and then we'll have like steak fries and the other things to go. You know, we live in the middle of nowhere. The nearest grocery store is an hour away. Last time on the show, we talked about that and food deserts and things like that. So I said, you know what? Here we are in the middle of nowhere. We do have people come visit us. It ends up like me, Julie, Laura, Carmen. We're cooking. We're doing these things. I think I brought pie last time.
You did. It's
And so I'm
fantastic, by
like,
the way.
gosh, a lot of times we'll cook ahead. We'll put it in the freezer. Why don't I just start manufacturing this stuff, create some more jobs, throw it in with the Moink Boxes. It's frozen.
Yeah.
And so I think she's cooking it up back there. She's doing it in the air fryer. We're going to see if it works. So I call them the snatch and grab hot roll because you better snatch it and grab it for like your sibling does.
Yeah.
And then I made the cinnamon roll out of the same thing. It's my grandmother's like recipe. And so there's 2 kinds. There's the plain kind and then there's with cinnamon and icing. Is this good?
It's fantastic, actually.
It's from Missouri.
That's great. I just took a shot
From
of it.
what?
Missouri.
Wait a minute.
I think you know what on down Missouri.
What'd you say? You want me to go dirty south on you? My people are from
Missouri.
Missouri.
It's Missouri. Bob, you're not from there.
Bob from the suburbs of St. Louis is saying it.
Oh, he's definitely from,
it's
from
crazy.
St. Louis.
And his parents own slates.
Baby, I'm not from St. Louis.
Yeah, they've said
What are you
Missouri.
doing, you fucking drunk bastard? Get out of here.
The plates for more food.
Oh,
You need the plates.
I thought
for
you were
more
coming
food.
up here
she
to
can't bring the
Look
food
at
without
this.
plates.
Here,
Thank
drink
you.
some of this hooch.
Thank you. Take a shot on camera, Joel.
Actually, it's not bad.
Every time Lucinda's here, it turns into a fucking party.
Yeah,
I think we have a picnic.
We do. We always have a picnic every time you're here.
Yeah, I should have brought cheese because I'm carrying.
Are you making cheese now too?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm getting this thing called
I
the
make
Rural
cheese.
Table.
I love
do?
a
Do
charcuterie
you do
board
a
more than life
30-minute
itself.
mozzarella?
It takes about an hour and a half, but yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, but you make mozzarella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's called 30-minute mozzarella, but I think you might be onto something.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
It takes a lot longer.
Well, it depends on the setup, I suppose, or how you choose to do it. But
What do you do it with? Rennet?
rennet citric acid, just like milk, raw milk. But
Yeah, of course.
You know.
You get in a pinch, you can use lemon juice for the citric acid.
Yeah, but it has a flavor, which is
Yeah.
if you like lemon cheese, I guess go for it. But it's not that bad actually.
It's
You can't
not
really
terrible,
tell.
like if you can't
tell.
find citric acid or
Yeah.
something. Again, an hour from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to do what you got to do.
You sure do. I had a mozzarella yesterday. It's TGI Fridays in the Atlanta airport. So mozzarella sticks.
They made those from scratch. I
Yeah.
believe.
It sure did.
Yeah.
There was the guy in the back was from Italy. And,
Yeah.
He was smoking a cigarette and the ash is falling
Yeah.
in as he's
Yeah.
kneading the cheese.
Yeah, and then he came out. And
Very
Buongiorno.
delightful.
He's
Is
what
buongiorno, is that,
you're working the moisture.
Buongiorno.
So
Bellissimo.
it's different than bread when you're kneading.
Oh, cups. Yeah, we'll class it up. He would
you're-
like us to class it up.
Not in the class.
no,
But
we'll
yeah,
drink
you
out
guys
of the
go ahead,
bottle.
yeah.
We'll drink out of the bottle.
When you're kneading bread, you're fucking strengthening the dough, right? But when you're kneading cheese, you're getting the moisture out. It's different.
Yeah.
Same process, but it's different result. You need that Italian stink on it for it to be good.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
think that's my thoughts on that.
It's funny because when you make bread, right? Me being short and
That's what
I
people call
get
you.
up on a short stuff.
No, they call you little shortbread.
No,
Little shortbread. Look at little shortbread.
You don't want to know what they call
What are you
me.
doing?
Look at little shortbread
You
walking
get up
around,
like
dude.
this. This is what you do when you need bread,
Yeah.
right? But see how short I am.
Well, you're trying to do
I'm fun
CPR.
size.
You're trying to do CPR.
Okay,
on
you want to
the bread.
judge my bread?
Cut to that two
I may
shots.
not
sure
like
it's
it.
good.
There you
And then
go.
you have
Show
to
that one more
stand.
time. It looked like you were doing CPR.
Yeah, right. Well, that's how
Just
I
trying to
roll that bread.
resuscitate that bread.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that bread.
you gotta bring
And
that
I
bread
stand
back to
on
life.
a stool, so I get more like
Standing on a stool.
I mean, I got some pipes, okay? And it's,
Yeah, you got some pipes.
need some bread.
But you're a real farmer. Like you're out doing the shit.
I
You're
do
out
the stuff. I work
lifting
in the
and-
Moink warehouse every Tuesday. Every part of the management does. Oh, this mic and
I know.
Can
It's
we
the whole
get
podcast
like I
thing.
know it's a whole podcast.
No, you
and
can
the mic.
just move it to you. It's fine.
I just feel like it comes in hot at me, and I might
I think-
activate my like
I think
trauma
that's something in your
response, and I'll
past.
pull a
Yeah.
knife. I do. I think I have
That's a
childhood
trauma
issues.
in the
of,
past
like,
where it's like put this close to your face and you're like, no, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early with the
wow,
cows.
really? No, I was more thinking like, back the fuck up.
Just the uncle coming in.
Social distancing.
Cows aren't waking up for 2 hours, Lucinda. You know? Keep it close to your face. Kidding. What pie is this that you're bringing in right
It's not
now?
pie. So we're gonna. She's bringing some hot rolls.
Oh, hot rolls. Okay, gotcha.
I call them snatch and grab hot rolls. They're pull apart, and then she's bringing some cinnamon snatch and grab hot rolls. So it's the same thing, but with cinnamon and icing. She might be having an air fryer malfunction. How's it going?
No, they're right here.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's on like Donkey
Lloyd
Kong.
Burke's in the studio.
So
today.
these came straight from Frozen, and then she just threw them in the air
Frozen
fryer.
like the
Which one
movie?
is this? Is this the?
Let it go.
These are the
These
butter
are the-
ones.
Oh, these are the butter rolls.
They're
these
almost
are delightful.
done.
Do they come to your house?
In your Moink Box?
Yeah, but like frozen. with
Frozen,
us?
and then
Okay,
you
gotcha.
don't even need to like you put them in at 375 for 12 minutes, so you don't have to like do anything.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
So on a pretty regular basis, it seems to me like there's stuff showing up in my box that I didn't order. Are you adding extra shit to my Moink boxes?
Are you putting in free stuff for
Yeah,
people?
because I feel like maybe I'm retarded. It could be that too.
Yeah.
Because I go on every what did I do it on Friday, and then on Tuesday it ships typically, and I select all my stuff. But I feel like I get more stuff usually than I'm supposed
Sometimes
to.
we do. Like if we have things that we're like, oh, this is new, we put it in, or like if you're a good customer, we randomly throw it in. Like we, But if there's, are you saying you got new stuff? I guess I don't understand the
Yeah,
question.
I
You
got-
got more than what you ordered.
He got an eagle's beak in there.
Yeah.
That was delightful one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wore it around for 2 months.
Sure did afterwards. So after he ate the remnants, he wore that beak around his neck for
Did
for
you get
days.
like extra bacon or something? No.
No. By the way, these
It
rolls
was-
are delicious.
like
It
those?
was extra
Yeah.
chicken wings and
Clearly, she did them in the air fryer.
and
right? So
pork
the-
chops, chicken wings and pork chops. I got extra that I did not order because I ordered St. Louis ribs and some chicken wings and then some steaks. And then bacon obviously comes free, but I got 2 other things that I wasn't supposed to get. And it's not the first time that's happened either.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
That's what's awesome about your company.
It's not bad.
We take
certainly.
care of our people. You've been
And
a
these-
customer for a while. You were a customer before you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
2
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Forever.
Like, what do you call that? Like day one?
Day one homie is what we,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
call
I'm
it.
learning it.
But
I'll
every
call it
time,
OG.
because we do, we watch a lot of sports over at Dan's house, and we've always got the wings over there. We've always got them on our social media and all that stuff because they're the best.
Yeah, I posted some the other day, actually. I smoked some wings this
Sure did.
weekend, Yeah.
And then with these
Okay,
these
next
bread
time you're
rolls are
bringing
amazing.
smoked. Yeah, these.
Oh, yeah, I'll
these-
These are better than Texas Roadhouse.
Next time you come, I'll smoke wings. I mean, it's,
Okay, yeah.
it's easy, but yeah,
I
they're
mean,
good.
listen, you could put a little butter on the top of these or like some smoked salt. They're real just plain easy. They're 12 minutes. It's just something like, again, it's a rural table mentality. So here we are in the middle of nowhere. We have to work together on things. Last week I needed help fixing fence. It was a thing that came up. Drew, who works for me, came out, helped me with the hogs. Of course, you're going to like feed somebody, right? You're
Yeah.
at the table.
Sure, yeah.
But you can't just, I mean, you can just put meat on a plate. That's fine. But I don't know. You just cook some hot rolls, cook some, put some cheese out, something to fill a table. So it's me infusing like our culture into Moink Box of like, here's things that we keep in our freezer that are very quick. That's like, oh, it's a ball game tonight, or this is happening. What do we need? The meat. What else you need? Meats, vegetables, and then something else
Meat,
to fill up the
cheese, and
table.
a light bread, maybe
Yeah.
it's
And
sweet.
some bourbon.
Maybe something for after dinner, yeah.
A
Put
little
it in
sweet
there.
at the end of the night.
I do, if maybe this plays, maybe it doesn't, I don't know, but I do motivational speaking for animals.
You do.
Yeah. He'll get right in their faces.
Well, it depends right on the animal, obviously. If they need it, I'll get in their face. If they need encouragement, I'll do that as well. But,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You animals speak.
I mean, I just speak English. I feel like they can understand what I'm saying. But it's more about 96% of communication is nonverbal, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
there's
got a
that
really
book, the
soothing
guy
voice.
that talks to horses, the horse whisperer. He
Yeah, there
says
was
it's nonverbal.
there was another guy called Mr. Hands who talked to horses for a while, and then it ended.
It did not end well
No,
for him. The
it
horse
didn't.
was fine.
Horse,
So far as we
Is it
know.
some
the
kind of
horse led a
weird
great
story?
life.
It's not a great one.
It's not a great one.
Yeah.
It's something for you to look up later.
Didn't we just no, I don't
She doesn't
Google
even have the
anything you
goddamn
guys
internet.
talk about.
Yeah. She's not dumb enough
And
to look
every
up
time
something.
I'm here, I realize there's something I'm pop culture ignorant about, and I'm like, I ain't looking
This
it up.
is-
I
yeah,
ain't looking
yeah.
it up because I don't know what kind of rabbit hole. I saw the picture of that pig you put
Yeah,
up there.
And the
I
lemon
get-
party, I think, before the show started. That was
Yeah.
accidentally on our computer.
I
We
guess you
apologize
could
if
call that pop culture.
Yeah, I think you can. Lemon party, Mr. Hands.
I can be surprisingly slow for a smart one and or smart for slow one, however you want to look at it. But I was not aware of whatever.
Yeah, I would take it home with you.
Hands or the
wouldn't-
fill.
There's a gentleman caller who is with you here today. Have him look it up on the way back to the
I wouldn't
airport.
recommend it.
No. I'm going to get on a list. I'm probably already on a list.
You're
You're
on
on the list.
You know I'm on
That's
You're
not-
on
that
every
shouldn't
list.
be.
I'm on
already,
every
dude.
list.
I think-
Come on, I'm gonna
yeah.
get another nasty gram, and this
Just-
time it's gonna be like we looked up your search history, and we're like, I promise you,
Mr. Hands.
the boys told
Look,
me to do it.
if Rob's not in prison from his search history on work computers by now, then I think you're safe.
You're fine, but I would also
Who you
show
been paying off
the
not to
Mr.
go?
Hands videos to all your farmers and say, here's what not to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think that's a good starter class.
We'll come to your farm and make a training video, but it'll be super fucked up.
I'm listening.
Here's
Go
what
on
you
with it.
can and can't do with the animals.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
like-
going to personally show them, Dan, what they can and cannot do.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
you start with the Mr. Hands video and say you cannot do this with a horse.
Oh, you're going to show the video of somebody else doing this.
So
I'm
you-
starting to feel like this might be a sexual innuendo that was highly inappropriate with a horse. Just a thought I'm having
who
at
would
this
ever know?
moment.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. But we don't have to stop there. Like you could show the proper way to butcher an animal, and I could be like, well, here's a way you shouldn't do it. And I take the pig out to an Italian restaurant. I go to the bathroom and come back out like Michael Corleone with a handgun and blow its fucking brains out onto the table.
Can't do
Okay.
that either.
Like, and then it's like, no.
There was
Don't do
somebody
that.
that wanted to ride a bull last year at the rodeo that didn't have any experience.
Oh, that's not smart.
Riding a bull. And finally, we had to tell him, no, because we are concerned you will pull your 9 and shoot him in the head, and that doesn't actually count for 8 seconds. It's
Yeah.
like, it's the opportunity for the animal to compete against human.
Sure.
So, like, you can't cheat with a 9.
No, you
So,
can't.
Yeah.
Best bull riding movie, is it 8 Seconds with Luke Perry, yes or no? Come on.
I mean, I'm going to
Is
say.
there another one?
I mean,
There
yeah,
isn't.
what else are we going to go with?
Can't name one.
And how come Luke Perry is the one guy who did a bull riding movie?
He's an animal.
He had
dude.
never seen a cow before that movie.
Sure did.
In person.
Sure
not,
did.
not
Farmer.
one fucking prayer. No,
Whole
he's
entire
not.
background was farming.
Where's Luke Perry
and he's
from?
A special man.
Where's he
So
from?
all my like nieces
dead.
and nephews
I
are
know he's
named
dead.
after that whole rodeo circuit. I have Lane, Tough,
Well,
like, all the names.
He was
Lane
born in
Frost,
Ohio.
Tough Hedeman.
Where in
Okay.
Ohio?
Mansfield.
oh yeah, Mansfield, Ohio.
You don't know where the
Great
fuck
football
that is.
team. Yeah, they've got a really good football team, actually. That's true.
Mansfield
It's super bizarre.
Oh, Millennial Farmer's in the chat.
Is he really?
Yeah, he says the best bull riding movie is Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, nailed it. Nailed it. There's no way one
Zach, you're a
one
piece of
hand
shit,
of
buddy.
spit is actually going to get the job done either.
Yeah, well.
in the chat there.
We can-
Just letting them know.
we
You've
can-
never seen that either, I'm
Yeah,
imagining. Lucinda.
we can address that in the training video as well.
I read
That'll
a lot
be in the video.
Remember, I'm the girl that goes to the library because I pay taxes and I get the books.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
also check out videos. There's some microfiche. We can put those images on microfiche and show them to you over and over and
Why are
over
you saying
again.
it like that?
That's how you pronounce it.
I don't think so.
Sorry, I'm
It's
from
like
there.
lactopamine.
Yeah,
From where?
I'm from
Fiche?
Yeah, the
All right,
various, the various parts
are we getting
of
sweets?
Fiche.
Jules is a sweets. Like these boys.
I've got a sweet tooth, Jules.
I'm panic eating
You're real.
sugar.
You're a
I've
real
got a
taskmaster.
sweet tooth. She said almost. She gave me this.
I am.
Or
Eat
was
more
that
meat.
was that
All right.
is that your boyfriend or is that how long the sweets are? I don't know, Jules. I can't. Very far back. Okay, 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. Now it's like we're.
It's also what she says to her boyfriend.
Now it's the movie Snatch,
Oh
right?
wow,
It's like
she's gonna come on
Turkish.
the stage.
Is she?
She's gonna go prison Julie on you.
Does she go prison, Julie?
I don't know, but let's not test it.
What's prison Julie like?
I don't know, but let's not go there.
There's a lot of pork fat on this knife.
You know what?
Yeah, there is.
Man,
Yeah, there is.
We could have an old school gunfight if you guys want.
we could.
In the back.
We got-
Oh, yeah, in the back.
Nothing above the waist.
Yeah,
You got to
nothing above
shoot
the waist,
below the
yeah.
waist. That's the rule.
I'm bringing my bow.
Are you a
What kind of bow?
hunter?
What kind of bow you got?
I have a recurve.
You got a
Oh, really?
recurve? Okay.
I'm a Matthews guy myself.
Okay.
Are
I
you?
recurve. I like Black Widow bows.
I'm a Cherokee guy. Just an old school Cherokee Indian guy. I found it in the backyard. Just a stick and a piece of yarn. I fire away. I don't need your fancy bullshit with your fucking machines and the
There's
the
no machine. A
latitude
recurve
and
is just a, like,
longitude
it's
and
none of that.
It's a big ass piece of
buttons, the
fucking
snaps.
wood or metal.
It's
Yeah.
a big piece of wood and a string.
I'm gonna break you off
and
a
it's-
tree
and
branch.
it's instinctive.
Out back, I'm gonna break you off a tree branch. I'm gonna put some red yarn on it, and we're gonna get fucking loose and see.
Okay. All right, let's go.
See
Fine.
what's what and who's
Okay,
who
bet.
today.
We're gonna
Okay,
play
bet.
William Tell.
Okay.
Sure
Right.
are. Yeah.
Except we're gonna put
Can
some
we get shooting
sausages on
stars
your head.
too?
We get all that shit.
Okay,
we got
great.
we
You
got
know
everything
how-
here.
you
We've
know
got a
how to throw
flamethrower here.
Throwing stars, yeah.
Yeah, we've got it all. We've got a no lie in the studio. Flamethrowers here, shooting stars are here. Although I think Joel used them.
And
one
you're
time.
worried about his search history?
Who's Bob's?
Yeah.
No, it's the least of our concerns.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like we'll have to hire a new producer when he goes to jail forever, but
yeah.
But that's about it.
I mean,
Whatever.
Yeah.
he's not the tech guy. Like we couldn't lose Delco. Bob could die right now. It
Don't
wouldn't
be
really affect
searching
anything.
for anything.
Delco would fuck up tomorrow's live feed, and
Yeah,
that's a no-no.
Yeah, Bob, we got time.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
replace him.
What
What were you gonna say? You
replace him?
piece of
Would you
shit.
just like break him out?
I was just gonna tell the prosecutor that I was just following orders.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I would bail you out.
that's worked historically pretty well. So.
I would bail you out. I wouldn't let you be hemmed up that long.
Throw me that bottle of whiskey again here,
Okay.
Lucinda. So with the suites, are you employing more people for that as well? And with the roles and everything else, are you hiring more people?
Yes and no. I found some other small entrepreneurs that were
And you're helping them out?
And I said, hey, how about I put the might of Moink behind you? Here's, like, I just like this guy. His name's Grant. And I don't know. I'm going to snitch on you, Grant. I don't know if he'll watch this.
Where's Grant
He got fired from Congress because...
Grant did?
Oh, yeah.
What was he doing in Congress?
So he was an intern years ago,
Uh-oh.
and he was really poor because they don't pay their interns, right?
They don't, yeah.
So he didn't know this. You're not allowed to sell an inauguration ticket.
Oh, shit.
But he did because he was like, dude, I was like living in a closet. They weren't paying me anything. He was like, I was really sad because I thought I was going to do cool things. And all I was doing was gaslighting constituents by sending letters that said we care when we didn't care. Yeah. And he's like, so, yeah, somebody offered me $800 for the ticket.
Why would you not be able to sell that? And
I don't know, but he got fired because
I mean, I guess they do security checks on people, so maybe that's why.
I don't know.
Each
But
NFL player gets 2 tickets to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
they sell
and
all of them.
90% of NFL players sell their Super Bowl tickets.
And then with regard to Congress, there was an intern or an aide recently who butt fucked another dude
On the floor.
on the floor of the Senate.
Yeah.
And
He still has his job?
I don't know. He got fired, but
Yeah,
not prosecuted.
I was going to make
he
it
was fired.
personally.
Yeah, he was definitely
right?
fired.
So anyway, I like this Grant because when he tells me this, I'm like, so what happened? You know, I always.
So he
feel-
makes bread now.
He makes bread now.
It's good fucking bread. So
He makes bread.
congratulations.
So I was like,
bread.
hey, can you help me? Like this.
I mean,
is
you're not a
Grandma's
government
recipe.
fucking parasite anymore, Grant. You feel very good
Yeah.
about that.
And the bread is great. Better
Yeah.
than Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
When those rolls come out at Texas Roadhouse.
I'm tired of
Eric,
hearing
is this-
about Texas Roadhouse.
I know.
Dude,
What
they're
it-
good.
It's
what is this?
disgusting.
All right, so are these the cinnamon buns here?
Yeah. So it's the same recipe, but with sugar and cinnamon and
Oh,
icing.
these are nice. Man,
Okay.
these are right out of these are hot too.
They're out of the air fryer, so look, I
These
don't
are
know how they're going to
fresh.
taste, but
They're going to taste great. Julie's doing
I
a great
did that
job.
on purpose because I wanted you to see, like, even if you're not like a big cooker person, like you can put them in an air fryer and be fine.
Is that why you call her Prison Jules? Because she's used to making shit in a cell?
No.
Yeah, she makes toilet wine like nobody's fucking business.
I just
dude.
wouldn't mess with her. Do you want her to come up here and hurt you? She will. Don't be fooled by how small she is.
No, she's back there in the. I
Look,
can
she's
see her.
smiley.
She's in the men's urinal making wine right now out
Oh
of
my
a sock.
Do not
out
call
of
her
an
to the carpet.
old white soccer sock.
Well,
back
you
there.
know.
You gotta ferment it, Jules, if you're
You know what?
making toilet
They grow
wine.
us different in Missouri. Us
it's
Missouri
toilet.
women are not the ones you want to play fuck games
It's
with.
toilet. Or turlet, but not toilet.
How do you come by this information?
Just time, you know. I know things.
I took African American history in college, so that's how I know it. But these are fantastic.
Give them up, man. I got a sugar
Toilet
addiction.
wine.
That toilet wine, Jules. All right, Jules.
Don't shut the cameras off, Jules. They have Nerf guns behind us. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
No.
We do actually have a bunch of Nerf guns.
Jules, is that toilet wine?
okay.
Lights out, Jules. And when the lights out, that's when you dip the sock inside the toilet to ferment the wine. Big fan. Big fan, Jules.
Big fan.
And I'm not going to shit on you like she did. Like she's shitting on your cooking skills. Dude, for the back of a fucking podcast studio to make these, delightful.
I am not shitting on her skills. I'm
It's
just
fine.
saying.
She's definitely been to prison,
brag about
too.
other ones.
She's definitely been to prison. I can see like a 1 2-year stint. Nothing
think
more than that.
so?
Nothing serious.
She does. Is that a teardrop tattoo on her right under her eye?
Yeah.
Is that what that is,
On her eye,
Jules?
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
My God.
You can't see it because she's off screen, but she's got a lot of tattoos, mostly teardrops on her face.
Yep. And
On
when
her
she
face.
walked in, she said, "You gonna blast this fool or what, Holmes?" Even though she's white, and we all thought that was super weird.
Yeah.
Jules.
It wasn't what I expected. I wouldn't say weird. Just wasn't what I expected. 'Cause
No.
I don't want to be
For
judgy.
a sweet girl from Southern Missouri.
Missouri, yeah, who's drinking toilet wine.
Is
She
it-
sucks it right out of that sock.
Yeah.
It's toilet to mouth. And that's another thing you can do on Moink Box. Toilet to mouth wine. And then you just ship it to him
I feel like this
right in a dirty
escalated.
sock.
This like really went off the rails like that.
Moink toilet
It always
wine.
does.
I would
Like,
buy that.
I would too.
Can we come back to center? Do we need to do some
You
breathing
get
right
1
now?
year free bacon
Okay.
at moinkbox.com/drinkingbros.
And then a jug.
A jug of toilet wine.
Unspecified amount in milliliters. Right?
Sock included. Sock included.
Access to Bob's search history.
Oh,
Oh no,
boy.
we can't do that.
Can't do that.
We can't do
the
that.
The feds will shut this place down.
we can't.
Dude.
There's got to be some law.
It's a quote tombstone.
Would you try this? I'll be your Huckleberry.
Sam Elliott finally gets involved here.
There's got to be some law.
Gotta be.
Holy
But Law Dog
shit.
don't go around here.
Yeah, shit. Savvy?
around here, Sammy.
Savvy? Sure does. I'm drinking
need a
this.
wash
I'm gonna
rag.
drink this whiskey right out of the bottle. Whatever this soft red wheat is,
It's good, right?
It's good as shit.
Toilet
It's
to
very
table wine.
good. Toilet to table wine.
Toilet to table wine.
Exactly. But how big do you want this enterprise to go in the end for Moink Box? Like, how far do you see this going? If you're doing sweets, you're doing bread, how big can this operation possibly get?
Oh, I don't guess I understand the question, but basically what I'm trying to do
How big do you want it to get?
Well,
Thanks.
I believe that...
Is it money or is it jobs for you?
No, it's. I think that you have to be large enough that you can compete and/or command the attention, and not from some frivolous bullshit letter they sent because they want you to be quiet. But you have to be able to grow something that's large enough that you can play in the big boys arena, so that people pay attention, so that you can prove. Yeah, you're right. We got here. And no farmers, no employees, no this, we're screwed over in the process. And then you can prove it. But you do have to have a certain kind of size in order to do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because anybody can sit there and say, oh, well, I held on to my morals and this. And listen, I'm right there with you. I am in your corner. Right? You want to tie yourself to a tree? I'm right there. I'm rooting for you. Right? But I'm going to go fight the people that have the chains, the chainsaws that are cutting down the forest.
Yep.
And not by chaining myself. By stepping in the arena and saying, hey, let's play ball. You know, so to do that, I think you got to be somewhere in the, over the $100 million mark. And
I agree to
so-
start throwing weight around like big
but
boy
you
money.
Can't, you can't grow so quickly that it's a fragile food system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're teaching farmers to raise chickens. I had to go and improve the processing facility. I had to build out where hogs are processed. That's not one of the big fours. I mean, when
You also
I
have
say
to grow infrastructure over time. Otherwise, like this happens to businesses all the time where like, oh, we had a great quarter, so we're going to spend a bunch of money on infrastructure, buy a bunch of cans, for example.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, fuck, we're fucked. Like we spent all of we have no like capital.
yeah,
now.
I call that getting above your raisin. So I try never to get above my raisin.
We call it liquidity crisis.
Liquidity.
Okay, well, I don't know
But
the
it's
terms.
yeah,
but,
Same
thing. Yeah.
But, like, whatever you do, be strong and steady. So for me personally, my company has always seen consistent year-over-year growth. If you watch me on Shark Tank, you know that Kevin O'Leary got in my face about margins. He was pissed. He thinks I need to have a big margin. My margins haven't changed. I still have had a nice bottom line. You can run a business and run it well. Be intentional about how you do things and still get where you're going. But we sometimes live in a society where people want everything right now.
Yes.
And you can have anything you want. You just can't have everything you want at at the same time yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And so
It takes time to make toilet wine. That's how the saying goes, brother.
Yeah, that's how it
Thank you.
goes.
It takes time to make toilet wine.
Sure does. When Jules is making it for cell block 4, she said, it's going to be 8
Oh,
to
she's
12
on CB.
days.
She's on CB4.
It's going to be 8 to 12 days before I can get you your wine. I can't get it overnight. You're not going to get drunk off of it.
It's weird how a white woman from Southern Missouri sounds like that.
But that's how Jules
where did that
sounds.
come from?
That's how Jules
That's
I mean,
because
no.
she said a total of 0 words.
No, every time she's come up, she said
gave you the look.
something. Yeah. Last time she came up to give me the fucking cinnamon roll, she goes, Louisiana, and then just walked away. I was like, all right, Jules, fuck, man.
How do you know she's not going to put a Creole curse on you?
I'll probably be dead after the
Wait,
episode.
did they do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. My people's we call it the Dirty South. Like part of my family's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I call it Dirty
It is
South.
dirty down there.
It's filthy.
Well, it's our attitude
Do
sometimes.
they do voodoo? Do the Creole people do
No,
voodoo?
but they wear
think so. I
jelly
don't know.
shoes outside in the summer, and it just gets
How do you
all over your
know?
feet. It's so gross, dude. I can see and smell your feet right now from
Really?
1983.
Really?
Just running around without a care in the world.
Right here.
Care in the world. Dirty little feet, dirty jelly shoes.
Walmart
all of
feet,
it.
yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
insane?
Walmart
Of course
feet.
not. You get
Not
fire
that.
ants.
You were running out in the yard all day, just being a gal on
In
a
Missouri,
farm.
maybe.
Yeah, in Missouri.
But not in Louisiana.
But
you get fire
it's
ants.
not like.
Oh, well, you
yeah,
say- why do you
you're
say-
on food stamps going into Walmart?
You say Missouri, but you say Louisiana like a normal person.
Because I
Missouri.
was born and raised in Missouri. But my people are in Louisiana.
There's
but why don't you
there's
say
there's a
Louisiana?
rivalry. Yeah, why don't you say
Louisiana.
Louisiana?
Because they are imports. They're not. They're third generation. My Aunt Debbie, she be coming from Texas. There you go. That's why.
They're all imports.
They are imported
We don't
products.
say that here on this
Why?
show.
I can't say that my Aunt Debbie came from Texas and then went to Louisiana.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I see what you're
technically a
saying.
Missouri
Yeah.
import because I come from Kentucky. My original family
I thought
comes
you were
from
saying
Kentucky.
overseas
Oh,
or carpetbaggers, So
Oh.
yeah, I didn't know.
Now, what would you call?
Oh, see, that's
say-
the difference.
What would you call a blonde white woman from Southern Missouri that talks like that? Go,
Julie.
Go.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you got no. That's too specific.
that accent?
yeah, that's that
What,
accent.
give us an example of the accent again.
Yeah, hit us, Ross.
Oh, if I'm from Missouri and I'm having toilet wine, Georgina, the toilet wine's not ready. Grab Jules. She's in the back. And Jules is the assistant. She's not the main.
Oh, she's
not the head of the operation
wow.
of the business.
So she's the Sue.
It's Georgina.
Toilet wine
Yeah,
sommelier.
you got to have a
Yeah.
Georgina and then a Jules in the back who's just gonna kind of run around with a soft helmet on.
Can you imagine if you used all that creativity for the good one day, Ross?
We do.
Well,
Can you
We're
imagine?
doing good right
Could
now.
you imagine?
We're doing God's work now. We're telling people to buy meat
Because
from
I'm like,
farmers.
who's Georgiana? Like, you got
Georgina.
me.
Georgina. Oh, Georgina. You don't know
Georgina, she's in charge.
She makes a peach cobbler that'll
Hey, but-
tear your face off.
But first of all, I'm slightly uncomfortable with the penis right in my face right over there.
It's not in
Like,
your face.
like,
That's
it's
like
right
4
there.
feet away. Come on.
Oh,
Because it's
that's-
a ghost, like what?
No, it's a
What is
3D.
this?
That's
It's
a
3D printed.
Yeah.
It's a Caucasaurus Rex.
a
That's a
Caucasaurus
dinosaur
Rex.
that's extinct now because of fucking people like you.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But why is it see-through?
That's how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, that's what dicks used to look like.
Yep.
Wow.
And then Big Pharma came along.
Yeah.
But
Fucked 'em
listen,
up.
Georgiana,
Yeah.
is that like you just made that up on the spot, or is that like a real person?
That's not a real person.
Okay.
I've never met a Georgina in my life. I'd like to though.
But you did play
met
a-
plenty of Jules, but not a Georgina.
You did play a character called Cleavon
I did.
Buford.
Cleavon Baby's Buford, Repube, Georgia.
Yeah, we're actually going to be doing some. Fuck it, I'll leak it now.
Yeah,
we're
do
gonna be doing some fun campaign videos over the
For
next
the
couple
fall,
of months,
yeah.
and he will be performing as Cleavon Buford in it.
Really?
Yeah, that would because we're trying to get out the vote to get people to vote repubes
Yeah.
this fall. So
Okay.
we're going to do a series of online.
Are you doing like a
sketches for
road
that.
show? Are you going different places?
No, well, actually,
we
that's
might,
not
yeah.
true because we want Brandon to win. So our buddy's actually running down in San Antonio right
Yeah,
now.
Okay.
and if he
Our buddy
win,
Brandon Herrera,
if
he's in a runoff election.
if he
yeah.
wins the runoff for the Republican primary, he'll win the election because there's no Democrats in that district really. I mean
Correct.
there are, but it's the primary is the race, right? But he's still got to do stuff leading up to it, and it's just going to be madness.
Madness, yeah.
Yeah, so-
But he's going against one of those pieces of shit. The guy's name is Tony Gonzalez. He voted for funding for Ukraine.
He voted for the Trump impeachment.
Yeah, like
Voted against securing the border.
everything non-Republican he voted for, and he's a rhino. He's technically a Republican. So it's just I want this fucking guy out of here. So yeah, if we could do a traveling show the day before to get people to go out and vote,
What's the guy's
100%
name?
we'll do it.
Your buddy's name?
Brandon
Herrera. He's better known as the AK guy on the internet.
On YouTube, yeah.
He's
know
a
what
gun
that means.
influencer, you might say, but he like reviews guns, builds weird stuff, all sorts of
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he build?
Well, he built an AK-50, which is an AK-47 chambered at 50 caliber.
Nobody's ever done it before.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Oh,
It's an AK-47, but it
Yeah, I
shoots
get that.
50 caliber BMG rounds.
And so it goes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's bigger bullets.
sure is.
Yes.
Got it.
The biggest non-artillery bullets that exist, yes.
Yeah. It's somebody that Jules would date. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Really?
Well, he is Mexican.
Is he?
Wait,
His
how-
name's
how did
Herrera.
I feel like you guys just went like socially. You were saying when I said imported because my aunt moved from Texas.
Oh, we don't
to
care.
Louisiana.
We didn't
But
mean to
you
make you
just
think
hit
that
the-
we gave a shit.
No, we definitely
just-
don't.
no.
Like, we were applauding you, actually. Like, I'm not here to
Come on now.
to
I feel
bury
like,
Caesar. I'm here to
we're
praise
going
him.
down a rabbit hole where I'm like, I can't keep up.
No, it's fine. The
got
mayor
it.
of New York just said that all the migrants there should become lifeguards because they're all great at swimming. So,
Did he really?
yeah, sure did. Said
Nuh-uh.
that in an inter- yeah. No. Said that the other day. Bob, if you want to pull it up, Eric Adams just said it on
He
Twitter.
said they were going to hire migrants to become lifeguards in New York because they're great at
They're
swimming.
great at swimming over the border.
Can this be real? This is
Oh,
a
yeah.
real
This
statement
is
that
I
was
mean,
said.
this is 2 weeks after the governor, Kathy Hochul, was like, there are black kids in Brooklyn that don't even know the word computer.
Yeah. Do you have headphones over there?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, grab those and
Yeah,
pop
okay.
them on real quick, and you can listen to it.
Okay,
we'll
and
play it
that's
for the
like
audience.
you know the other guy, the politician that said, I think it was Bloomberg. He said that anybody with gray matter can be a farmer. He was from New York, right?
Yeah, he was.
Bloomberg?
Yep, sure was.
Man, they throw some shade, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to see Bloomberg get out there
Yeah.
and farm for a little
That'd
bit.
be
I know I
kinda
fucking
funny.
couldn't. Go ahead and play this clip from Eric
Okay.
Adams. You'll love this.
Plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle
This
is
cannot be real.
Yeah.
right to
That's the
work
mayor
to
of New York
become a
City.
This
Mayor of New
cannot
York,
be
too.
real.
And both black women on both sides are nodding their head. Uh huh.
Those
And he's talking
jobs
serious,
that
like
we
he was
are
about to
in
say
high
something
demand,
serious.
I know.
Well, let me.
could
I don't.
I can't.
I don't
Are
mean.
you sure that's real?
Oh, it's real.
That
Yeah.
is 100%.
I don't want to be indelicate, but what would he know about swimming?
Yeah, and I think that's why they were both nodding their head of like, yeah, we can't swim and they can. So that's kind of the way it is. But yeah, that's where we're headed. So
Okay.
that's where
Those
it
are
all.
good, aren't they?
If we don't have people like you who are doing shit like this, like the whole country's kind of fucked here.
Well,
I'd like to see
and
it
you
get
guys
to 100
putting
million.
like putting the helping amplify. Of,
Well, we
like,
use
here's
our
what it
powers
is.
to make fun of retards,
Okay.
Sure.
and then to promote things that are actually good.
I like that.
Yeah.
You have that like in your creed.
And by
Does
well,
it say like?
yeah, my creed says take me higher.
Okay.
Yeah,
That must be a song reference.
Jules
got
Jules
it.
was
She
laughing back
chuckled.
there.
She's a
Jules-
lyrics person.
She used to listen to that song in jail all the time, dude, on repeat, just on the old record player.
That's how everybody knew not to fuck. Like when Creed's on,
Yep.
I'm not to be fucked with. You understand?
Jules comes out with a shiv and some toilet wine, and you don't fuck with Jules. As soon as that comes on, I'll rent one album from the library, sir. They bring it to the jail cell. Let her play it. Can you take me higher? And the shiv starts getting sharp. The wine starts getting sucked out of that sock, and Jules goes on a fucking rampage, dude.
well, let's not set her up.
Fucking do it, man. Let's get this
I'm
done.
half a bottle of whiskey deep. Let's do it today.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Man,
it
these are
today.
good, right?
So good, dude. Those
Yeah.
cinnamon buns are really fucking
We're gonna
good.
do, like,
all
a
your
pecan.
food is good. We wouldn't have
Yeah.
you on if it wasn't legit. Like,
Yeah.
you really do make the best
Thank
shit
you.
there is. So,
Yeah.
look,
And raise it.
and raise it too.
Yeah.
And raise it. I wanted to ask you about Shark Tank. Do they follow up with you every year and see how you're doing? How does that work once you're off the show? I know I just asked you mid-bite, and I apologize
I
for
think
that.
they've been out 3 times now.
3 times? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then do they shoot videos with you and all that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's from like 4 o'clock in the morning till 11 p.m.
Holy shit.
Multiple days in a row.
Okay.
And they like mic you up. They're touching you. They're like they're like, oh, we want to get this shot and this shot. You're so worn out.
Yeah.
Then by the end of it, you're like,
You're all done, yeah.
you're about ready to, get assy.
And as your overall experience, because there's a lot of people that loved you on Shark Tank and everything else, would you recommend it to friends or family, or no?
I'm not sure that I would have like an unbiased opinion because I just did it as a joke. I didn't actually think it was real. And like my sister-in-law was forwarding these emails to me that said something about like from Shark Tank. And I was like, could you please stop sending me spam? And she said, it's not spam, it's real. And then I had called them, and it's entirely possible. I'm not saying this happened, didn't happen. We're not gonna. It's entirely possible that I was like, okay, I've never even seen the show. But you still had to like go through steps and all these things. So I did them. I had to make a video. To me, I was like, it's an opportunity to possibly amplify the voices of American family farms. But I didn't walk into the situation with expectations. I actually wanted to go like turn a letter on Wheel of Fortune. And it was in the same studio. And they said, if you like got away from where you're supposed to be, that like you get in trouble. And I seriously considered like being
Hopping over to see where Vanna was?
I could just see, and I was just like, man, all I want to do was just go turn the letter. That was my life dream.
Vanna makes toilet wine too. A lot of people.
So
don't know
I never
that.
watched Shark Tank till afterwards. Jamie, who invested with Moink, he was a guest shark. America didn't like him. I guess he didn't play well. Well, if you meet him in real life, he's an awesome.
Jamie Dimon?
No, Jamie Siminoff. He founded Ring Doorbell.
Oh, okay.
And then he sold. So he was on season, I think, 4. And they turned him down. They didn't give him a deal.
For Ring?
Yes.
That's funny.
And then he sold to Amazon for $1 billion.
Wow.
So he came back as kind of like a,
Big
how you like me
flinging
now,
dick, yeah.
right? Like how you like me now. And so I didn't know who he was. I literally didn't watch the show till after I was on, right? And somebody said, hey, they tell you like the day before who's going to be in the room, like the Sharks. And my friend that was with me, she said, oh, yeah, there's this guy, Jamie Siminoff. And I was like, new money.
Yeah.
No thanks. Not even going to try to talk to him. And then come to find out, he's just like an amazing human. Him and his wife's from Indiana. They got a farm, like where my farm's at. Like, we have become like family. Like, we always say that he's from Jersey. If his mother had a baby out of wedlock, dropped her in Missouri, gave her my accent, it'd be me. Right? Because we're the same. But anyway, so it's been great for me. But it's a long story. You'll have to come see my warehouse one time. But it's entirely possible that when we were first working together, we didn't, like, we just have the same style and we're brawlers. So it's entirely possible he lipped some shit off to me and I lipped right back. And he made a verbal agreement that at any time I could buy him out for exactly what he's got in my company. Indefinite. So it's entirely possible behind Carmen, who's my right hand, her desk, there's an ink pen taped to the wall. It's called the Fuck You ink pen.
Okay.
Because every time a profit check is written, it's to remind everybody, nobody holds me hostage. And that he's actually involved in my company now, even though I could buy him out, because I value, or probably already have given him enough money, I know I have, to cover what he has in it. But it's because I value his opinion. And because he's a brawler himself. You know, he ain't a yellow belly. He's not going to like, there's been some things over the years to where business can be nasty. And we're on a big level sometimes. You get people that'll like try to pit you against this or hem you up in this or start some bullshit, or you might have a vendor doing this. And Jamie's very loyal, very helpful. And so for me, it turned out well.
That's great.
But I did not have a typical investor. I mean, he didn't even have a guy. Like behind the scenes, you're supposed to get like an investor, like their investor person's coming to talk to you. And literally this guy comes over and I'm like, are you Jamie's guy? And he's like, no, he's going to call you tomorrow, but he needed somebody to play the part.
No shit.
And I'm like, so what's in your briefcase? And he's like, oh, nothing. And I was like, all right, well, he's like, Jamie is not like a real investor, but he didn't have a guy and he didn't want to like look dumb that he doesn't have a guy.
Yeah.
So he brought a briefcase. What was in it? A sandwich
So
or
it's like,
something?
no, it's just like his buddy. It was like his buddy, like in a
I like
suit
it,
with like
yeah.
a briefcase, and it was like his friend. He was like, no, I'm just playing the part.
That's funny.
So it wasn't real. So I don't feel like I have like an unbiased opinion, because normally like an investor in a company, I don't think you guys would like. I literally said, I'm not going to apologize for the hellfire and damnation I'm about to rain down on your mother trucking head. Like, I've had those conversations, and he's been just as, because I mean,
He just sold another company mid last year called Honest Days Work, I think.
Yeah, I know. I
called.
told him I was going to get him for copyright on that shit.
Okay.
Because, I always say a farmer should make an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
It was like kind of a TaskRabbit style app, basically, and then Latch bought it.
And
So-
he's CEO of Latch now,
Yeah.
which is
No shit.
publicly traded. And it was like, it was kind of in the toilet. And I think he's having a lot of fun with that because he's back in the trenches because it's hard.
It's very hard.
And when
I
you're-
sit in these meetings every day and it fucking sucks.
It sucks and it's hard. And if you ever didn't do it, you probably are like an addict and you'd come right back and you'd be like, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Yeah.
what do you say?
We know
in
people
the,
like that.
You were in the military, right? Don't they always say like never out of the fight?
That's what the SEALs say, yeah.
Okay, so the same with like business. Once you're in business, once you're an entrepreneur, once you're in the trenches, like what are you gonna do? Go get a real job
I can tell you what I'm going to do. The next
What are you
meeting
gonna do?
we go to, I'm bringing a briefcase
with a
with a fucking steak inside.
Yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
or with nothing.
I'm not even kidding. I'm going to open the briefcase up and pull the plate with a steak on it out and put it on the table and start eating and be like, go ahead.
go ahead.
Like you're not interrupting my steak time.
I've brought
I like
my
this.
own steak and I'm
Or-
ready to do business.
Or I'll tell them you have until the end of the steak to convince me of what you're going to try to convince me
Oh,
of.
I like this.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody messes with crazy.
Yeah.
So like, how crazy could you get?
On a scale of 1 to Jules.
Yeah.
From one to
Fuck,
toilet
yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
Are you
want a
taking
toilet
toilet
wine over
wine?
there?
Are you taking a sock and a steak in a briefcase?
I'll do the
You
sock.
pull out
I'll do
toilet
the,
wine.
Yeah, I'll do the toilet wine
Or you
for
start
sure.
you start
Yeah.
crocheting or something.
Yeah, just suck it right out of there.
I double dog. Double dog.
There's video of me drinking toilet wine out there.
That's
No, I'm not
true,
worried about that.
actually.
I'm thinking crocheting in the middle of like serious negotiations.
Just put on some readers
yeah.
like a grandma and just start crocheting. Like, all right, go ahead.
Pop a Werther's in.
I have special readers that you should.
You got readers?
Yeah, I got these like super thin ones that you should take. And so you just get in the middle of your meeting.
Sure, and then pull out
You
the
know what
readers.
I do? You know what I do in the middle of negotiations?
What's that?
Man, nobody's gonna watch this, so they won't know it. Two things I do. One, I'm always outside the building smoking cigarettes, and people don't know what I look like. Try to like really look trashy, right? Somebody comes up, hey, I'm here to talk this is this, and I'm like, I just work here. Go inside and ask them. See how they talk to me, right? That's number one. So then when they get the warehouse tour and they circle back, because, I'm coming down like this, got my sunglasses on, and Drew always brings it back and says, this is Lucinda. If they were rude to me when I was outside being all trashy,
Yeah.
I fuck them up. If they have manners, I'll work with them. Then I have found instead of a laser pointer, what works better is a switchblade.
Yeah.
And you just start doing this shit everywhere, and they get twitchy, they get nervous. There's just something about somebody doing this around you.
Get a little Glock 43X with a fucking TLR on the end of it with a laser pointer. And just
Yeah.
use your gun. Like,
But looking at a ginger with a fucking switchblade.
That's true, yeah,
that's
you are.
Nuts,
Sometimes
dude.
when I start thinking and I'm like, well, let's get a cig, and so that I do that. Then I'm, but occasionally I do actually
You'll
need
pull
the
out the readers. Those are very thin readers there.
Yeah, they are, and they're magnet.
Are they really? Look at that.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
good.
aluminum.
That's aluminum. Don't
okay,
worry about
well,
it.
If it was,
It's
it would
from
stick,
Germany.
And then you do this.
Oh, those are beautiful readers.
Yeah, right? You like that? They're super thin, so you got them everywhere.
Yeah.
And if that don't work, you just do the switchblade move. Crochet. Start with crochet and readers.
I'll eat a steak. I mean, I think the
You start with the
juxtaposition
steak?
of the two things is what really matters. I'm eating a steak and you're doing something weird.
Sure.
Not that eating a steak in a meeting isn't weird. But
Well, then I would
Are
have
you taking
to put.
white linen like to put under your steak and like a proper like knife?
I
and
might.
fork?
I mean, I always have a proper knife and fork.
Okay, are you getting like the actual proper ice for your whiskey? Like classy ice, like the square.
Like the square?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the type of whiskey, yeah. Or
Depends on the
it's
type of
actually the
whiskey.
drink.
And you wear the suit with the crocheting.
And
You
I'll-
wear what you're wearing
Yeah.
If
with the
you-
steak and the linen.
If you're bringing a briefcase, I want to bring a briefcase too. So while
Can I
you're
come to
pulling
this
out
party?
your
What are we
steak,
negotiating?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna
when he's
negotiate.
pulling out your steak, I'll pull out a jock strap.
Okay.
And then one cantaloupe. And a plastic knife, one of these little plastic spoons and knives, and just kind of carve it up and
Okay.
eat it myself. And then I'll talk in
I'll
that
just rock
accent.
in a corner. Can I
The
just
whole
rock in a
thing, yeah.
corner?
How does the jock strap play
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll put it on over my
You need
suit.
one of these?
Yeah, I put it on over my suit in case I have to run really fast.
Start
during
stretching.
The meeting.
Start-
yeah.
Does this
in case
make,
I have to take off.
I have
Start
lots of
stretching
things
in
to
the
make
corner of the
people, like,
You never know when I'm gonna have to run in place like this, but also keep my nuts tight to my body. So
Bring your own
see.
stand-up desk into the fucking meeting.
yeah, excuse me, guys.
Just
put
have
on hydraulics.
Just have a couple of dudes come in and start fucking setting it up. Like it will be about 45 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Give me another 45. I've got to set up my electronic desk.
Yeah,
And then
you
set
set
that
up the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
so-
eating there? What do you
I'm
have
not
now?
eating it. It's like one of the things I also do, like in a meeting when I'm. First
What
of
is
all,
it?
when people
It's
demand a
cocaine. She
meeting
just
with
chops
me,
out a big fat
I was
rail of
gonna
cocaine.
say, it looks
Here we
like
go. Ready?
cocaine.
Okay, carry those everywhere.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So you pour water onto that. Now what does that do?
It's a towel.
Oh, it's a little towel.
You just never know. Like we just had a picnic, and now I need to wash my hands.
Look at
You see
that.
what
These
I'm
are
saying?
all fucking prison items. I love it,
Yeah,
dude.
that's why I have a flashlight on my purse. Like I'm prepared.
Yeah, you are.
Try to hit me up, see what happens.
Oh, I'm not
I
going
mean,
to.
try to throw down at the four ways,
You're
see
like
what comes out.
fucking-
At the
That's right.
four-
Beth from
Sorry, what?
Yellowstone.
The four-way stop.
Four-way stop, bro.
You are not from small towns, are you?
I am.
I am.
So is
I've never
Jason
gotten in
Aldean.
a fight at a fucking four-way stop before. We fought in
Really?
a fucking field somewhere.
Yeah, four-way
Typically,
stop,
right?
dude.
Okay, but that's because you were probably teenagers and you don't fight as an adult like a retard. But when you're an adult and somebody says let's fight, you say time and place, and you don't need to get the time and place. Everybody knows. If you're gonna make a poor life choice, A, do it on purpose, and 2, don't be embarrassed to do it right in front of everybody.
Yeah, like if somebody brought A1 steak sauce to put on your steak, that's the
Dude,
you
I
meet
would
him at
say
the four-way stop.
yeah, I would say four-way stop now.
Meet me at the four-way stop.
Yeah, I would say get there.
I've never heard that phrase.
Get there.
Oh yeah, get there.
No,
dude.
no,
Four-way stop.
Four-way stop. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I mean, I
dude.
know what one is. I've never heard it in that context of
Yeah.
fighting before.
Yeah, catch
Well,
you at the four-way.
We learned
I'll drag
things
you
here
out the-
too.
People may say, meet me at the crossroads, right? That's a thing.
Well,
What's-
that's if so you don't get lonely, but that's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, no, this is about the devil.
Okay.
Okay, is
Right.
that another song reference?
It sure is.
Okay.
Well, that,
Yeah.
mine was Devil
Can I
Went
get you
Down to
guys'
Georgia.
playlist so I could study it? You think I could
Oh,
check
no,
that out
that's
at the library?
Robert
Bone
Johnson.
Thugs and Harmony, absolutely.
Yeah,
They've got
they're
a greatest
dead,
hits. No, they're alive.
Oh, shit.
It's Tupac that's dead.
All
He
right.
was on their album. Lucinda, now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. Can't give the same one as last time. Who do you want to give it to?
Okay, who am I going to get to give the drinking?
China.
Bro?
China.
Who helped me become the person I am today?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually going to pick Jules back there. Wherever
Really?
She's at. Yeah, you don't know.
She's in the toilet. I don't know what she's doing, though.
No, me neither, dude.
You
I
don't
can't
know her
remember.
story, but she came to work for
You
me
don't have
4
to get
years
her.
ago. She came to work for me 4 years ago, and if you'd known what that woman had walked through, I could never do what she's come to the other side of. And you see her in here, you see how she's smiling, helpful, all these things. If you knew what life she had lived, where she comes from,
Prison.
what she's done, and where she's at today, yeah. I once told her she's one of the strongest women I've ever met, and I'll stand on it. So,
Would she serve 7+ years, 8 years?
you know, it's possible she did a 120, but I don't know. It's just her life story to tell now.
Sure is. We'll get Jules back and
Yeah,
have her on her
she'll
own
be the
show,
next
dude.
show.
Jules a
Yeah.
badass, man. Jules is
That'll be
badass.
the
I'm gonna
next
pick
show.
Jules.
Well, she will bring her to the meeting. She can make the toilet wine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jules, a.k.a. Prisoner 128497. Jules. Big fan.
She's already standing at the four-way waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
She
going
might
to have
be,
to
actually.
sleep in the studio because she's going to try to catch me outside.
She's gonna
How
catch you
about
on the
that?
outside.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
You're not gonna do it.
Sleep in the studio.
Okay, all
Sleep
right.
on this ghost bed.
The Drinkin'
massage
Bros,
topper.
Drinkin' Bro of the Week is what that's
Yeah,
called.
sure is. We do
Who
it
came
every
up with
single
that?
show.
That's a nice. That's a cute
Jared, our co-host, did actually.
And we have this trophy right here in the middle. It's the Brosman. It's the Drinkin' Bro of the Year.
thing. Okay.
Alex Chichov won it this year.
Is it bro or bruh? One of my daughter's friends called me bruh, and I said, "What you said,
Yeah, either one.
bruh?"
If it depends on how you're feeling that day, you know.
You got a drinking chick,
We had Drinkin' Broettes. Yes, we did.
broettes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. See, you're
Drinking-
like all inclusive.
I
you
think
got all
drinking
things.
broads would have been better, though, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
would
Because
have been
broad
offended.
like sounds classy. to
Sure
me.
does.
My
what I mean?
my personal opinion on all that stuff, being as I am the only female CEO of a company more than maybe 5 billion in the entire meat industry. I am one of the only. I'm like a unicorn. I don't give a shit. Like I do not care. Like I have 4 brothers. Like the word, like it
Is
just
Tyrese
doesn't
one of 'em?
affect me the same. Because to me, I always feel like it's kind of like snakes. Like a lot of the men in the industry are probably more afraid of me than I am of them. Anyway, that's just my I have no idea where that point came from. There was no point.
Doesn't really matter.
ADD,
When you're
rabbit
drinking
hole.
whiskey, toilet wine, you're having thweets.
Okay, I think we should call it a day on that one.
No, it's good. We're having thweets together. So sometimes with my friend, I just need a little sweet. I get so embarrassed and nervous. I need a little sweet with my friends.
Give me the whiskey.
The sweets are great. Let me read your thing. I'm going to take a shot here.
Oh, my response?
Sign up at moinkbox.com/drinkingbros right now. And listeners of this show will get free bacon for an entire year. 1 year, the best bacon you'll ever taste,
Naked.
but for a limited time. That's spelled MOINK box.com/drinkingbros. That's moinkbox.com/drinkingbros.
I like how you do that.
I'm the best in the biz.
Yeah, you're
I'm
the
going to
best
take a
in the
shot
biz.
here and
Yeah,
then
do
pass it to you.
Okay, do it. Yeah, make it happen. Yeah, you do.
Jules, you get out of the toilet. She made you Drinkin' Bro of the Week.
She don't even drink.
She's not even wearing socks, so she knows she's already getting started. She's already getting that ferment going. It's already hanging over the side of the bowl right now. I can't wait to
How
have
do you
it
know
after
that's
work
not
tonight.
what I put in here?
It could be. Because she's been in the back collecting apple cores from people to ferment
And
that
you know,
wine.
the first time I came, I brought the homemade moonshine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Jules is back there taking the shells off of turtles. I've never seen one before, but that little fucker's still walking around, Jules. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you go on the show, it's
Shit gets weird.
wild as shit, and it's a fucking blast.
Yeah.
You have an open invite here anytime, any
Okay,
place.
come to Missouri, would you? We'll do some
Missouri.
cow tipping, some four-way shit.
If Bob's-
He's gonna do some weird animal talk.
If Bob's College ever gets ranked, we'll do it. Like, I want to see a good game there. Do you
Well,
go to
how
Missouri
far?
Tigers?
How far from
How
Columbia
far do you live there?
are you?
I'm an hour and a half from Columbia.
That's close enough.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. Yeah, we'll come out to the farm. I'll ride one of those things around, and then we'll do the show on the cow.
Wait, what are you riding?
The cow?
Oh,
Just gonna
yeah,
ride the
yeah.
cow around. I'm not doing a bull or anything. Just something
No,
simple that's
no.
going to stay in place for most of the time.
Yeah, we can do it together, actually.
Yeah, we can go broke back with it.
Well, no, it's
Side saddle?
two cows
I'm
side
trying
by
to be
side,
okay
and
right now.
Yeah.
it's two cows side by side, and we're holding hands.
And we just do the whole podcast like that, live on the
Double
live on
dog.
the cow. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Double
no,
dog?
no, I'm double dog daring you.
Oh, yeah,
I'm calling you
sure.
to the carpet. I'm saying
That's means
not-
that means nothing to us because we've
Okay.
done way dumber shit than that.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
did a show from a cemetery when
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson died.
Really?
Yeah, Civil War cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun experience.
Okay, interesting.
I
yeah.
think I may be haunted now
Really?
by Civil War people.
Really?
No shit.
Hey, I
I've
think
been-
that could be a real thing.
I've been like, I really want to get some slaves, to be honest.
Well, you woke up in the middle of the night saying the South's going to rise again. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, maybe
well, no,
we
I
should
call
have done that show.
I call my dick the South.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
I feel like this escalated.
It'll rise again. It'll rise again.
Oh,
God willing.
now
Yeah.
I get the joke.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
I'm the worst Is it inshallah or mashallah?
It's hamdulillah, inshallah. There's a lot of ways
Assalamu
to say it.
alaikum. It's that
There's a lot of
too.
ways to say it.
Mohammed.
I don't hear a lot of these
Jules.
words. I read them in books, right? I read words, but if you don't
Fancy-
hear them
fancy
because
books.
you're like from the middle of nowhere, you know, next thing.
Inshallah just means God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
Alhamdulillah also means that, sort of.
Yeah. But mashallah and inshallah means the same thing.
Yeah, more or less.
Does it
Different
really?
dialect.
Okay. I
One's,
didn't know that.
Chicken, mashallah, obviously is.
Peace be with you.
One's Arab, one's
Persian.
Persian.
Persian, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic carpets and shit.
Cairo.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand it all.
Wow, that just. We're riding a magic carpet.
Hey, who cares?
Okay.
We're living our own world.
We're living our
We're
life.
employing our own people. We're doing God's work out here, okay?
I mean, I pay taxes.
same here.
And I'm going to get my library book. I do. Give me that book.
Jules already got her record rented out for the day at the prison, so we're good.
Okay.
You're gonna hear Creed crank up. You know, it's toilet wine time in Jules's cell.
I mean, I don't see the problem with it. You know what? It's like
either.
a vacation.
Yeah,
like, I wish they
100%.
had like this little tiny, like not a serious crime, but if you could do this thing that was like, hey man, I just need like a break.
Like a Martha Stewart crime.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to like,
Let's buy an old jail.
yeah, and it's like you
And
could
then
just
like
go hang.
Airbnb the whole goddamn thing.
Yes. I think it's brilliant.
Let's go back to Alcatraz.
Well, you think about it. They're telling you what to, you're bringing the food, they're doing this, and your only job is to bitch.
That's it.
Which is most of what I do now.
Yeah. That's what he
To be
does on a
honest,
daily
yeah.
basis. And he carves,
Shivs, yeah.
he carves little heads out of soap.
Plus, your
too.
friends would
Oh,
have to
yeah.
come like talk to you and pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know something really crazy that I'm doing in the month of June? As if I can do more crazy things, but you can.
Go
And
ahead.
I am. I'm going to go cell phone free. I'm also going to gaslight the fuck out of anybody that comes to visit me.
Okay.
Because I bought, like, I'm getting a 1980s, like, Jeep. I got a home phone installed. I got an old record player.
Yeah.
I might even take it as far as to put up, like, paneling and shag carpet. Not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah.
Do it. Graceland's for sale.
Yeah,
right
when
now.
they show up roofie them at the airport and then drive them there, and by the time they wake up the next morning, they think they've time traveled.
Yes.
That would
Yeah.
be fucking dope.
Yes, right? And they're going to come. My kids are in on it. My daughter, she's like all into it. She bought new clothes, like new old clothes. She went to school in California. She's coming home for the summer. And I was like, I have really missed you. I think we need quality time. And at first, I thought she would get really mad. And she was like, oh, I'm leaning in on this. This is great. I'm getting an outfit.
It
We're doing
actually
a thing.
is. It'd be great.
Get some nice gingham and sew yourself a fucking dress.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's
Wampum
too far.
Gangnam Style.
No, but think
No,
about
that's
it.
a
Like the
different-
answering
that's
machine.
Gangnam.
Like leaving. You guys
Oh,
don't have
yeah,
to call
leaving a
it.
voicemail, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of like the voicemail on this.
I've never left a voicemail my entire life.
I have. I very
refuse to,
lengthy.
nope.
I always do it very lengthy, too.
I refuse.
Yeah.
I don't want any evidence of what I'm saying.
No, I leave
Which
a
I
very
know is
lengthy voicemail.
ironic speaking into a microphone, but
I was gonna say, isn't there so
don't
much
worry about
evidence of
that.
what you're saying?
Don't worry about that.
You give
Don't
me
worry
your
about
voicemail, I'll leave you an 8-minute message.
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
gonna be like our home phone. We're gonna change it like every few days,
I
right?
can't-
like,
I can't-
hey,
I
you've
can't
reached
get-
the rich folk.
I can't get the image out of my head of Jules pulling a sock out of the toilet and just singing, "Hello, my friend, we meet again."
Yeah.
Right? Just singing
this another
Creed at the
lyric?
top of her
Oh, Creed.
lungs.
Hello, my friend, meet again.
And right there at the pause, she squeezes the toilet
squeeze
wine.
the toilet wine in her mouth. It's been a while since you squeezed it in.
If she makes the toilet wine, are you guys drinking it?
Fuck yeah, dude.
100%.
I trust Jules with
Yep.
my life.
I've eaten food off the ground in Baghdad. I can handle some toilet
Okay,
wine.
Jules, we should make some wine off. We do call it prison wine off the Grape Arbor.
Prison wine Jules, dude.
Yeah, call it hooch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
PWJ, Prison
Come
Wine
visit us,
Jules back there.
Ride a cow, go to Mizzou.
Ride a cow,
Drink some prison wine.
save a wine bottle. Just drink it right out of the sock.
We've got a
dude.
guy that'll do tattoos as well.
We sure
if
do.
you guys need any more teardrops on her face. I mean,
Yeah, we'll get some
There's
teardrops
barely
on
any
her face.
room, but
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The tears of a clown.
Okay.
We appreciate you being here, Lucinda.
Thank you.
Moink Box. Go
Box.
there now.
Moo
Buy it.
plus oink. Yeah.
Moy.
Come join Moo plus
plus
oink.
oink.
Come join the Cool Kids Club.
Do it, or you're a fucking loser. All
Yeah,
right?
I
That's
can't know
it.
you.
That's it. And then update us on this lawsuit and let us know what happens.
Yeah.
I gotta know.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
gotta
we're
know
there.
the answer to that.
Oh yeah. We
Okay.
know what's happening.
I mean, I just get like a giant paragraph text, and there's a lot of fuck this, fuck that. That's basically how she
This
communicates.
is how I communicate.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey
Really?
Dan,
Yeah.
fuck China, and hey.
Is it all caps like Trump?
No, it's not all caps. She's in the punctuation's there as well. Which
Really?
Is surprising.
I
Yeah.
punctuate too. I can't.
And then I say bet, and then I say like when we're like, hey, yeah, that's good. I say, all right, bet.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, exactly,
I might have
dude.
even said
like
that.
Michelle Kwan.
I did say I like Donkey Kong. I think. Yeah.
Like Ray Don Chong. It's an old Commando reference. Go to Moink Box, kids. Buy it. Go to iTunes. Also, rate this show a 5-star and leave a quick
Yeah,
review.
do it.
Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away at that point.
And buy this stuff because it's good.
Hard AF Seltzer, I appreciate it. And if you want to hook us up with your boy, that'd be great.
I got you.
I appreciate it. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.